these things and bundle them together and do not make it as you know, a, a, a dangerous thing, not only a dangerous thing, but very, unsightly to look at. Whether, posters or posters and bills also are a menace, whether they are all over the place or whether they are properly regulated. Or the posters, ULBs are ensuring that whether the posters, as mandated by the law, do have the name of the uh, publisher and the printer. They need to ensure that. Common signages across the city, whether they are properly maintained or are run down. Sometimes they are affected by wind and rain and not repaired properly. All the roads and footpaths are free from potholes and broken paver blocks, as we have already discussed. Sometimes these roads and footpaths are broken up for a purpose, but they are not repaired immediately. So all these will be assessed by the assessor, whether there is a neat and clean green zone, wherever possible, the medians, the road dividers, and the footpath sides, when there is a available space, road space which is not developed, whether greenery has been developed or not, and the beautification of the flyovers and the bridges. These need not be made as simply as a concrete structure and forgotten about it, but it is a good opportunity to create aesthetically beautiful surfaces around them, especially with vertical gardens, flowers, etc. The idea is, when you maintain a place aesthetically beautiful, it straight away discourages people from spreading uncleanliness and disfigurement. If you allow it in a disfigured way itself, then people, instead of repairing it, they will contribute to destroy it further. So this is the idea. You need to look at the aesthetics. You need to insist on the legal provisions, especially on the bill pasters and the utilities which keep on digging up the footpaths and the roads for their own services. You need to be strongly after them to repair them to their original condition. And regular painting of the footpaths and etc. Need to be done. Next. And all these indicators which we have seen previously, A to H, they are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And total marks are 200, and some are having 30 marks and some are having 20 marks. We are coming to the cleanliness in slums. The major departure here is the very small ULBs of less than 20,000 population and the small ULBs of less than 50,000 population. They do not have this assessment because they are being very small and the economic activities there and may be very less. There is very little chance that there can be a slum there. So they are not assessed for this. And for them, these 150 marks will be redistributed in other parameters. So the cleanliness in the slums. These slums are a gathering of human settlements which are highly unregulated, but as a mandate of sanitation, they should be fully given the door-to-door services, just like any other developed area. And also see that the access to toilets and sanitation is fully made available, because Swachh Bharat Mission does not distinguish between the tenure of land, whether this is a legally valid land or not. You need to extend sanitation services both for the toilets and garbage solid waste management to these slums also. So the validation of this indicator will be carried out by visiting the slum and photographs and videos will be captured. Whether the slum households and the shops are covered with door-to-door collection mechanism. If it is not feasible, then whether the ULB has created a dedicated space or a point for those householders or the shopkeepers to deposit their waste. Is there at least once a day sweeping in the slum areas? At least there are no garbage vulnerable points or CTUs. And whether at least there is a community toilet within the distance of maximum 500 meters in the slum area. Some of the ULBs have gone ahead and provided household toilets also for the slums. But here at least we are looking at is they are not without at least a community toilet. Are the streets, are the drains in the slums properly covered and do not have unregulated discharge, fecal sludge in the drains? Is it completely free from open OD instances, open defecation instances? Are the slums free from stagnant water, waterlogging, or pooling of water? The slums can be a big challenge. At the same time, we will be exposing not only the slum dwellers, but the entire population of the city if we neglect the slums. So all the services that are provided to developed areas are to be given by the ULB to the slums also, whether they are registered or not registered. Also, you need to update on the number of slums with that are found in the ULB on the Swachh portal. Now we come to the next indicator, that is the cleanliness in schools. 1.10 स्कूल क्लीनलीनेस. विशाल आगे बढ़ाइए इसको. Next, please.
Done, sir.
Yeah,
there is some
now
network.
it has come. Thank you. So the question is, are the school premises free from litter and visibly clean? The schools are a very important area for Swachh Bharat mission because we are training and developing the cleanliness behavior of our children for a better tomorrow. So the schools need to become temples of cleanliness within the community. The objective is to maintain that the schools are free from litter, and wherever you go and see, that is visibly they are clean. It is also means that we are inculcating a habit of maintaining swachhta among the students, so that when they go home or when they go to a community, they take that swachhta behavior and practice it at household and at the community level also. So here the assessor will be visiting all the schools, whether they are public, whether they are private, whether they are government, municipal, all the schools, they will be visiting as per the sampling criteria. Photos and videos will be taken. Here the marks are 100. It's a simple one indicator. The idea is the schools have to become the good examples of such behavior and such practice. Next slide. We are coming to the next section, that is segregation, which including collection and transportation. Now, in the section 2, indicator 2.1, door-to-door collection. This is the primary duty of an ULB for ensuring swachhta. So these door-to-door collection will be focusing on the assessment of whether there is a segregation of waste at source, whether there is an adequacy of infrastructure, including the vehicles, and whether the monitoring is good, that adequate number of trips are being maintained, and through proper monitoring, any missing out or any complaints that are generated are also covered within the 24 hours. So this is a big indicator with a total score of 300 marks. This will be carried out through not only desktop assessment, but also visiting the residential areas, commercial areas, public areas, and the slums within the ULB's jurisdiction. Here, whether the questions will be households, shops, and other institutionals or institutional areas, including public institutions such as police stations and collectorates, courts, and other such facilities, whether they are connected to the door-to-door collection system on a daily basis, or whether there is a dedicated point of collection in case every time door-to-door collection may not be possible. So this carries 200 marks. Second indicator in this is part indicator is whether the collection vehicles have adequate volume to prevent spillage. As the cities grow and the population within the households or within the wards increases, whether the ULBs are attentive to introduce more number of bigger volume or more number of vehicles to prevent any spillage. During the transportation itself, when it is being taken, the vehicles should not be spilling any waste. So this carries 100 marks. So this is about door-to-door collection, total of 300. Next, we come to the other indicator, which is actually part of the door-to-door collection itself, that is the segregation of waste. 2.2. Next, please. Yeah. Vishal, there is a big lag. I don't know. Your network, I think, is slow there. Please see whether you can be near a stronger network area. So this is
Okay.
segregation of waste. This is very crucial, not only for cleanliness, but also for bringing value, that is waste to wealth. Unless the segregation of waste is ensured at the generator's premises, the waste itself become more and more waste. If segregation is ensured, the waste can be converted as wealth. So this is very important. And also, it has got a very important bearing on the transportation and the storage spaces also. Generally, the dry waste is uh, much voluminous, but very conducive to compaction, dry waste. Whereas wet waste, has got more mass, more moisture content, more weight, and small in size, but it is having lot of bad odor, bacteria, and other these pathogens are there. So we need to separate both these areas. At the same time, wet waste, if it is properly collected and taken to treatment facilities such as a biomethanation plant, a valuable gas can be collected. But in a mixed waste, having lot of dry waste, having lot of surface area, you disperse your wet waste also into that, mix it also into that. The potential of the wet waste is totally lost. In the end, you may try to segregate, but lot of it is gone, lot of moisture is gone, which is containing the gas potential. all that is gone. So segregation is very important. The validation will be carried out at every point of generation, such as residential areas and also collection areas such as transfer stations and processing facilities. Right from the generation of whether the households or shops or hotels, restaurants, etc., whether the segregation is being implemented, and that is also further validated in a transfer station when we are having transfer stations, whether when we go and see, and even the vehicles themselves, within the vehicles themselves, we can see whether they are having partitions, whether separately there is a storage happening in the vehicles, and the transportation is done in a segregated manner. And processing plants also, finally, we can see how much of it is a reject waste from the process. Processes, as our friend Ankit Jain will take it up later, are designed for different characteristics of waste. Wet waste will have a different processing technology. Dry waste will have a different technology for processing or sorting. And wherever the rejects that are coming out, if they are less in number, ULB is implementing good segregation. If the rejects that are coming out are more, that means ULB is neglecting and not delivering on the segregation. The scheme of marks lies whether the waste is being collected as a dry waste, wet waste, sanitary waste, and domestic hazardous waste, which are all should be separately collected and separately stored in the vehicle and separately moved, and finally reaching their targeted processing plants. Whether the segregated fractions are received at the designated facilities, that such as MRFs and CBG plants, or even the waste to electricity plants, etc. Whether the sanitary and the domestic hazardous waste are properly segregated, stored, moved, and channelized to the proper handler and processor, such as the incinerator or TSDF or a common medical waste facility, biomedical waste facility. All these will carry a big chunk of marks of 500. So ULBs need to take care. This has been given a large chunk of marks because this is crucial for valorizing waste, that is improving our waste to wealth initiative. So ULBs are requested to treat it as a core area of waste management and not to neglect it any further. So thank you very much for your patient hearing, and I stop here and I hand over to Ankit Jain. Ankit, to take forward from section 3 onwards.
Good morning. Hope I'm audible. I'm assistant at on solid waste processing, and this will entirely carry around 1500 marks and will be put under 11 sections. So we'll be capturing each section now onwards. The first would be functional wet waste. So this is the first indicator, which is functional wet waste processing capacity. So all of you are well aware that solid waste are majorly categorized under three categories. Now, even the special care category has also been added in the recent rules. The major one are two, which is wet waste and the dry waste. So first fraction, which is called wet waste, will be assessed under this indicator. And here there are two different things. The first indicator, which is 3.1, will be assessing the requirement of the actual design capacity available in your ULB. So here our assessor will come and will take some pictures and will see whether your design capacity is sufficient with respect to your generation based on this formula, which will be capturing your total. Will give you a total of 100 marks. Next indicator, please. The next indicator, please. No, 3.2 is the next one. Correct. So 3.2 will be capturing the actual utilization, or you should say the actual capture the actual utilization of your plant. So what is the quantum you are processing currently? It will be assessed in this parameter, which will give you 75 marks for the total processing, actual processing, and the 25 or in the case of CBG, you may have gas also. So if it is being offtake properly, so this would be the indicator which will capture that. Here, we have also added one important point in the case of northeastern states or very small ULBs where they are, also feeding livestock with the good fraction of wet waste, like peels and other things. That can also be considered here, but you have to put it or project it as a processing technique, one of the processing technique. Can we go to the next indicator, please? Ishan? So the 3.3 indicator, in a similar way, it will be capturing the dry fraction capacity available for dry fraction. And this is specifically for the sortings, like MRF, which is called Material Recovery Facility. So this indicator will be targeting the sorting of your dry fraction, and the total capacity will give you around 50 marks. Here, we have also included RDF and SCF as a separate entity. So the total RDF linkages will also give you 25 marks. There you have to actually give the MOUs. You have to produce the MOUs between the ULB and cement industry or any other industry or waste to energy plant which is taking your RDF as a fuel, or SCF also would be considered here. Uh, Here, like for plastic waste, there are so many plastic waste processor who are already registered for this kind of practices, and all the producers, importers and brand owners, they are obligated to get such kind of credits, which is called EPR, which is intended to become waste. So here, since this is the first time, we are just asking if the ULB is registered on the CPCB with CPCB to avail such benefits on EPR, they'll would be able to avail 25 marks in addition. So you have to produce the registration certificate. Next indicator, please. So indicator 3.4 is again on dry waste processing, but here this would be capturing the actual processing being done in the UL. So it is again categorized under three subcategories. The first one is the total processing in actual which is happening, the which will get you estimation of total recyclables. Here it is this this is asking for the utilization, but it doesn't say like ULB they themselves have to utilize it. ULBs may have MOUs with any aggregator and they have to produce the proof that it is being utilized or channelized properly for recycling purpose through aggregator or through any registered agencies which are registered with CPCB may also help you to get the marks, this additional 25 marks. Similarly, here non-recyclable fraction, which is also called SCF, segregated combustible fraction, or RDF. If you are able to produce the certificate, like you are sending it for consuming your this segregated combustible fraction will also get you 25 marks in addition. Next indicator, please. So similarly, there is another indicator on domestic hazardous waste and sanitary waste processing. So here only you have to provide the document which will uh, give a kind of indication that you have a kind of tie-up with the common biomedical waste facility or any waste to energy plants who is taking care of your domestic hazardous and sanitary waste fraction. So such kind of event Vishal, can we move to 3.6? So CND waste is will be captured in 3.6 parameter, and this has the total marks of 200 uh, around, and which will be again categorized into five subcategories. So this first two category of the ULP very small and small, we would say, which is less than 50,000 population, only point A would be applicable, which where you have to produce there the collection is happening in the ULP. You have a dedicated designated point of collection for CND waste. For the ULPs which are actually more, which has more than 50,000 population, they'll be captured for the remaining indicators, which where you'll be having you have to notify the collection mechanism. With that, they have also be put on the MIS portal. Uh, the third point, which will capture the adequate functional processing facility, which will get you again 40 marks. The first point will have the maximum mark of 80. The second point will have the mark of 40. And the third point will give you around another 40 marks. The fourth point, which will capture the ULV's tender conditions of the reuse of what you are producing out of CND waste. Like if you are producing some paver blocks, you're producing a coarse aggregate, recycled coarse aggregate, or a fine aggregate, whether they are being utilized in your own government's project will get you another 20 marks in the same thing D. And the third point of construction dust. So whether ULB has given instructions of all construction sites to use a kind of barricading or proper to use proper precautions, including sprinklers and all, to mitigate dust dispersion of dust, will give you another 20 marks. Here, in the important point, if you would see uh, the point D, which will ask about the utilization or selling of CND waste collected from a non-bulk waste generator, because here you need to see that these all points are applicable only on non-bulk generator. So what is bulk generator in the case of CND waste plant, which actually which has the total built up area of around daily generation may categorize you as a bulk waste generator of CND waste plant. There is another condition which is which also state like if you generate more than 300 TPD a month may also uh, put you under the category of bulk waste generation. So in the case of bulk waste generation, their side. But if it is coming from the sites which are not covered under bulk waste category or which are directly coming from some residential area, has to be captured by the ULB. So, so in the case, in important points, he had clearly stated that these things are applicable only in the case of population more than 5 lakh. For the cities which have a population less than 5 lakh, they don't have to uh, give the proof of utilization. They are exempted for that particular point. Next indicator, please. So bulk waste generator as a whole, this is not for C. All know that the generators which are producing more waste than 100 kg a day uh, comes under the category of bulk waste generator. In new rule there are some more parameters, but till April they are exempted. So there are some 4 points, and this category, first of all I wanted to tell that this will be applicable on the ULVs which has population more than 50,000. And four major things which will be assessed for total 150 marks would be whether the bulk waste generators have wet waste facility in their own premise. If they have uh, such facilities, this would be uh, calculated based on the total percentage, like out of total 5 marks for this particular thing. The second parameter is for the dry waste. So if you they are channelizing their dry fraction for, or they are handing over to the registered recycler. Uh, Registered recycler means either they should register with CPCB's EPR regime or they should register with the ULP. So for that ULP also have to bring a list which will give you kind of indication that these are the total recyclers who are authorized to take such kind of waste. You will be also have to identify total number of bulk waste generators which are given in the important points you may see. So these are the two important of total registered waste bulk waste generator. Uh, these parameters will be assessed. The first parameter would be the waste processing facilities within their own premise, which will give you 25 marks. Then the second is channelization of. The third is similarly for wet waste. If ULV, if they are unable to, you know, capture their own, uh, they are unable to process their own wet waste, then they can send it to the ULV. They can have a tie-up with the wet waste processor, which can be ULV also on commercial charges. So on this parameter also, again, you'll get 50 marks. And the empanelment of third party vendors, uh, which is actually, which will be collecting wet or dry waste from such bulk waste generator. If you have such list available or mechanism available for empanelment, will again get you 25 additional marks under this category. Next indicator, please. Waste management in schools has totally of 100 marks. It will be the prime focus of the same would be assessing the schools. Do they have changed the slide? 3.8. So, so this will have four major points to be assessed. First would be whether school classes has litter bins. In each class, they have litter bins uh, in the school. Litter bins here may need only the dry fraction. It will not be applicable on the wet fraction, which is majorly for the paper uh, and other, you know, because where school has to put proper signages for wet and dry uh, waste bins on common areas in the canteen, in maybe in the corridors which will be shared between the classes. There they should have wet and dry waste signages on the bins. The third parameter, this parameter will give you another 15 marks. Uh, the third parameters is whether school has either facility on their own if they are categorized under bulk waste generator, or they are segregating the wet and dry fractions properly before the final uh, submission to the municipal corporation, before handing it over to the municipality. So this of biodegradable waste in the same premise may get you another, if such schools are available, percentage of such schools. If city has so many such schools, based on the percentage, will give you another 30 marks on pro rata basis here. So this is as per. So indicator 3.9 is for RRR center. RRR centers, again, this parameter would be applicable only for the cities have population of more than 50,000. Uh, Here, total marks are around 150, and which will be subcategorized under five major categories. So the first would be whether RRR facilities created by ULBs, permanent or temporary. If you have such RRR facilities, you'll get 25 marks. If ULB has engaged the NGO, civil society, or organization for running or promoting such kind of centers, will again get you another 25 marks. Post festival waste management, specifically like to have so much of such puja materials. If you have such mechanism to collect the same material, like old photos, cloths, flower, coconut, or other things from uh, societies or religious places or so, or you have common designated points, to deposit such materials will get you another 25 marks in this category. Receipt of collection and disposable items should be available with the RRR centers, which will prove that yes, there is a kind of proper channel, which will again, make you eligible to get another 25 marks in this category. If the campaigns organized by ULPs for collection are being conducted in the ULP are happening, you have proof. Our assessor will check that. Will again make you eligible for another 25 marks. And the last point in this category is you should have a proper linkages of the disposal and reuse, recycling, or now we also added repair also of such items which are being collected in the RRR center, which will again make you eligible for another 25 points. So another, now we'll move to the next point, 3.10 for sanitary landfill. Uh, Sanitary landfills point, which is indicator 3.10, will totally, it will have total 150 marks. And so here, total marks, if you look at the distribution, so if you have such scientific landfill sites, if you have already identified the land, you have called a tender, you have issued work order, if you, the parameter, each of the stage has got uh, a separate mark for you. So based on the stage, you'll be eligible to get the mark. Uh, this is first section. In the second section, since rule restrict the waste which is being routed to the sanitary landfill site is only inert, which is non-recyclable, which cannot be burned, which can't be used somewhere else like wet waste or so. So so which is called inert fraction is only eligible to be sent on such sites. And they have also restricted the total quantum of such waste should not be more than 20% of the total waste. So here we have put the categories from 5% to 20%. If you have this much quantum of waste which is being get you the highest mark. If you are sending inerts only, which is less than 5%, will get you the highest mark of 80%. But if you are sending it 10%, then less than 10 may get you around 60 marks. And in the case of around 20 will get you only 20 marks. In the case of more than 20 will not get you any mark in this category. So this is in line with the rule, and ULBs please see this and try to reduce their inert quantum or processing rejects in this category. So we'll move to the next indicator, which is the last indicator in SWM's category. So the indicator 3.11 is for remediation of dump site. Total chunk of marks as around 250. So if you have already the total legacy which has already been reported to us on our portal might be. So the total legacy waste remediated across all identified dump sites in the ULPs will get you direct in the pro rata basis. The proportion which you have already remediated, it will get you the marks out of 250, which will directly be proportionate to the total remediation which you have done. So these are the total 11 indicators for solid waste processing assessment. Now we'll be moving to the next section. It will be covered by my
Sir, thank you. This is Sudesh from CPHU. Good morning to all the participants and officials from various ULBs and the representatives from OVA. So the current section, what we are going to discuss right now, it is section number 4, which is access to the sanitation. So this access to sanitation has 5 indicators totally. So totally it covers about 1000 marks with 10 percentage of total grading. So total weightage is 10 percentage. So under this there are 5 indicators. So out of this 5 indicators, some 2 indicators are going to be the major scoring area. One is 4.2 and there is 4.3. So totally we have 5, 4.1 to 4.5. Out of that, the major scoring area is 4.2 and 4.3, where we can able to get 300 under each indicator. So accordingly, we will go one by one. So the first indicator, along with me, there is another master trainer who is going to be under this particular section. It is Pooja Ravi, NPMU of MOVA. So first two section will be explained by, two indicators will be explained by me. The remaining three will be explained by Pooja Ravi. So first indicator, let me go into the first indicator. Um, Vishal, can we go to the next slide? The first indicator is 4.1. The 4.1 indicator is for prevention of open defecation and open urination. Based on the visible cleanliness section, there are some few considerations has been added under this section, and accordingly this 4.1 section has been revised and compared to the earlier earlier year. So accordingly this particular indicator is having prevention of open defecation and open urination. The objective is to avoid open urination and open defecation in the mainly in the open defecation hotspots, that too in commercial areas and public areas, and to create adequate infrastructure and to target IEC and BCC and enforcement measures which has been taken. So especially in this regard, it is the main objective of this particular indicator. So the validation under the remaining indicators are direct observation and desktop. Under this particular indicator, we have an additional one validation method that is called as citizen validation, though it is an prevention of open defecation and open urination. So it is considered with an additional validation method called citizen validation. As already all my seniors has explained how the observation will be taken. So accordingly, this particular section indicator has three kind of validation. So that is the one thing. Another, under this access to toilet, the applicability, it is for all the cities. In some few places, the million cities will be considered under the scoring marking system. There are one place where we can highlight for million plus cities. The remaining, it is applicable to all the towns, various towns, from small towns to the maximum population greater than 10 lakhs, or to the million plus towns. So million plus cities. So accordingly, we will go into the marking system of this 4.1. So the marking has four marking systems. First marking is for actually it is said to be the prevention of open defecation. So the marks has been given for the adequacy, whether they have, the ULB has an adequacy of toilets which has scoring of 25 marks, followed by the open defecation if it is already identified and some measures has been taken or transformed to the next level, so that will give an additional 25 points, followed by any recent law or order has been notified or penalties has been collected based on the open defecation or open urination in the past 12 months, that will give an additional 25 marks under this. It is a total of 100 marks. So the 75 marks under this three markings. The final marking is in the main hotspot areas, wherever the very common urination or open defecation will get happen. In those areas like railway tracks, railway stations or railway tracks nearby, or water bodies nearby, or the public transport hubs, or tourism or religious hubs where the footfalls are high. So if those OD hotspots where the measures are something is taken, the marks have been given accordingly based on the observations. So the next indicator we are just moving to the next indicator 4.2. It is called public toilet. We are just going to the public toilets. As already we said, there are 5 indicators. The remaining all these 4 indicators like functional, well maintained, well equipped of public toilet is one indicator. The same way, functional, well maintained, well equipped community toilet is the next indicator. Functional, well maintained, well equipped urinals is the next 4th indicator. The 5th indicator is because of additional into the schools, into the educational institution, how it is maintained. So these are the 5 indicators. Accordingly, we are going to 4.2. It is called public toilets. Where the public toilets are well maintained, the objective remains to be the public toilets are to be well equipped and has to be have the facilities and has to be with proper sanitation system around the within and outside the system, and proper waste management system has to be placed inside the public toilets, and the mechanism of complaint mechanism is already in place in some maximum places, and the complaint mechanism is also another objective where it has to be ensured and accessibility to all the users. It should not be restricted with the users. So these are the objectives, and it has to be aligned with the sanitation and the hygienic standards of our ministry. So the validation and methods, what it is already said, every section under this, every indicators under this section will have the remaining have only 2 validation method. One is direct observation, another one is direct desktop assessment. This is applicable to all the towns varying from population from lower less than 20,000 to the maximum million cities. So the next is scheme of marking. Here only I said only one place where it is specifically to the million plus cities. So let's we go one by one. The scheme of marking under this community toilets and public toilet is for individually 300 for community and 300 for public toilets. So under this, the first 300 marks where you can get scores for this public toilet is the first point where you can get is the when you go for a public toilet, the very first visibility is the signage, and the toilet is mapped for the easily accessible, easily connect to the publics to reach to the particular location. So if an ULB has a clear signage with a map visible on Google Maps, so they score 40 marks. Most probably this grading will be with 40 and 30 grades. So the maximum highlighted points will be at 30, and slightly of lower consideration will be at 30 marks. So the maximum consideration to the next point is cleanliness and hygienic in the internal area of the toilet as well as the surrounding premises of the toilets, because there are some toilets where it can be placed in the not in the appropriate location. So based on that internal and external area, how the where the toilet is placed, whether it is clean or hygiene. So based on that, the 40 marks will be given. The next point where you can get the another 40 marks as like the basis parameter. One of the parameter that were we call functionality. So under functionality, it is combined with water, lighting, ventilation, doors with latches, everything is available. So another 40 marks will be given for this functionality. First point is the cleanliness, and now it is called functionality. The next one, apart from all this, if a toilet is available for special people like differently able or transgenders or children's with low height, for easily accessibility of toilets for the children, that will score around some 40 marks. So if the toilet is having all these amenities, followed by the toilet has to be connected with the sewer tank or septic tank. So septic tank or the sewage system for disposing its sewage into the septic tank or sewage disposal system. So then it carries another 40 marks. So apart from this, a feedback mechanism, a unique feedback mechanism should be in place, either by using a QR code system or with the registration by using a registry, or else some operational grievance redressal system which is in place, which carries another 40 marks. Water efficient and water efficient toilet, this is the part where we have to keenly observe. This is only for the million cities where they have the water energy efficient systems, like they have a efficient fixtures, or else they have a solar panels, or they have some electricity where they can have a efficient fixtures, which is an automated system which helps them to get a score of 30 marks. This is only applicable to the towns of million plus, so cities of million plus. So for the remaining ULBs where they are not at all a million plus cities, there they can their scores will be normalized from 270, though this 30 marks will not be applicable to the other towns. So the last scoring where we can get the last scores where it is given for the remaining 30 marks is a dedicated agency or mechanism in place for O&M. So if they have an O&M by using a third party vendor or the ULB who is maintaining or running the public toilets in an efficient manner, if a mechanism in place, then based on that the 30 marks will be given. So totally it's about 300 marks under this public toilets. Along with this, the remaining there are three indicators which will be taken care by Puja Ravi. So I will hand over to Puja Ravi. Puja, please can you continue with the community toilet to the end of this particular section?
Thank you, sir. So as Sir said, this section pertains to all kinds of sanitation facilities which are there in the ULB. So coming to community toilets, whatever indicators that we saw in the public toilets, the indicators which will be assessed by the third-party agency on ground, as you can see on screen. If you can just recall, we do have the FACES parameters that we had issued during the toilet campaign. So you just need to ensure that all your sanitation facilities pertain to those indicators. Basically, it is about ensuring that the toilet is functional. So if you see in the community toilets, the assessment methodology is the same as public toilets. There is going to be direct observation. There will be a desktop assessment will be done. And you can see the applicability, which is according to the population of the cities. The scheme of marking, it is just the same as public toilets. So when it comes to the FACES indicators, we talk about functionality. The toilet should be functional, it should be clean, it should be clearly visible. The community toilet which is present should have proper signage to where the community toilet is located. Secondly, there is cleanliness that is maintained in and around the toilet. The toilet should not have any kind of obstruction to the toilet should not be present. Cleanliness should be maintained. There should be no littering or any sort inside or outside the toilet. When it comes to the functionality of a toilet, it is very simple. As soon as you enter, there should be light available. There should be ventilation. Either it can be through an exhaust fan. It could be a slanted ventilation point or any other. There should be no odor in the toilet. As you enter the cubicle, the toilet door should be functional, as in it should not be broken. The latch system should be in a way that it is not, a makeshift arrangement. It should be a proper latching system which should be there. Once inside the cubicle, the toilet seat should not be broken. It should be clean. There should be water available for the user to use and flush the toilet. As you come out, there should be a functional wash basin. There should be water available for the user to clean their hands. So this all pertains to the functionality of the toilet. The fourth indicator is that, as Sir says, that there should be dedicated seats which should be available for persons who are differently abled. If possible, for for children, small children, there should be low height seats should be available. The toilet should be connected to a proper sewerage collection system. There should be no open discharge of fecal matter whatsoever. A feedback mechanism should be in place wherein you can either have a register, you can have a QR code mechanism, or you can have any other digital means by which the feedback of the toilet, that is the cleanliness of the toilet, can be captured by the user. Then coming to the water and energy efficient systems, this is only, kindly ensure that this is only for the million plus cities. When it comes to water efficient and energy efficient toilets, what we mean is, let's say, a solar system should be in place for electricity in the toilet. The flushing, the water that is used in the wash basin can be used for flushing purposes. You can even have water fixtures like tap operated machines. You can even have sensor based machines. So these are the various ways by which you ensure that the toilet is a water and energy efficient toilet. Lastly, a dedicated agency should be there so that the O&M of the toilet is also taken care of. So these are the indicators on which the toilets would be assessed on ground. Coming to the next part where we look at urinals. Vishal, next, please. 4.4. So when it comes to urinals, same indicators apply, but we have reduced the indicators here, looking at the structure of the urinal. So once again, the urinals should be usable. There should be no odor. It should be with functional flushing mechanism should be in place. No untreated fecal matter is to be disposed outside. The premises should be clearly visible to the users. There should be proper signage in place, not just at the location of the urinal. You can have boards indicating users as to where the toilet is located, like is it in within like 500 meters or 100 meters, a urinal or a community or a public toilet is available. Then all these toilets, kindly ensure that all your, be it your public toilets, be it your community toilets, your urinals, all of them are mapped onto the Swachhtam portal. Whatever data that you feed on the portal, the same would be shared with the agency. So in case there is improper mapping or the toilet has not been mapped, it can be problematic for the ULB. So kindly ensure that all your toilets are mapped onto the portal and they are visible on the Google Maps. Then another indicator is that the name and contact detail of the operator, or in case that there is if there is a issue pertaining to the toilet or issue pertaining to urinal or the community toilet, there should be some contact details which are available on the toilet front. It could be on the wall of the toilet inside, so that in case there is an issue that is faced by the user, he or she would be able to contact the relevant person and get the problem resolved. We move on to the last indicator when it comes to the sanitation section, that is the school toilets, which is 4.5. Vishal, next slide, please. In the toilets, in the school toilets, we are once again, all these toilets will be assessed either by direct observation and by desktop assessment. In school toilets, we look at the cleanliness of the toilets. If first indicator, as you can see in the scheme of marking, is are these school toilets, do they have separate separate sections for both boys and girls? If the toilet is clean, there is a proper water availability is there. If the toilet is well ventilated, it should not have any odor inside the toilet. There should be at least one specially equipped toilet for the differently abled children. Does the school, if also there should be proper litter bins should be available with proper marking as to what kind of waste is to be thrown in the same. Then all school toilets once again should be connected to a proper fecal mechanism so that there is no open discharge of fecal matter. So these are another thing in school toilets. Kindly ensure that all the ULBs need to update the list of schools on the Swachhtam portal. There is a provision for the same, so that we know that which are the schools which are to be given to the agency and the same would be visited. Second is that at least 80% of government schools will be assessed under this indicator. So kindly ensure that your mapping, be it for your public toilets, be it for your community toilets, urinals, and as well as for school toilets, are all properly mapped on the Swachhtam portal. This is an important factor. I'm repeating this point again and again, because whatever that you feed on the Swachhtam portal will be given to the agency and those toilets will be mapped. So kindly ensure that the mapping of these facilities is done properly on the portal and in a timely manner. So with this, we come to the next section of use water management. I would request Satish Kumar sir to kindly take everybody through this section. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Pooja. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Thank you very much. So very good morning, everyone. So we are coming to the last section of today's forenoon presentations. So this one is about the wastewater management or used water management subsections. So first one is related to the connectivity to the closed system. Second one is related to the conveyance systems. Third one is related to the treatment. And fourth one is related to the recycle and reuse. Okay, so accordingly, the marks has been marks has been allocated. So here, the total marks that has been allocated to this particular component is 1,000 marks, which is actually roughly 10% of your total marks for this Swachh Survekshan. Next slide, please. So the first one is connectivity to the closed system. So this is actually an indicator which has been considered by keeping this joint monitoring program of UNICEF into mind. So for this actually we have considered what is the system that the household has been connected for used water management. Okay, so what is the system that has been in place? So that is what we are going to check it. So for this, citizens validation as well as desktop assessment, both are actually being taken into consideration. So for this section, you are getting 250 marks, irrespective of the system, whatever it is being connected to, whatever the things it has been mentioned in here, irrespective of the system, you will be awarded 250 marks as long as you are filling this section and it has been verified positively by the assessor during the citizens validation. Next slide, please. Yeah, the next parameter is regarding your conveyance system. So here we will be checking what kind of conveyance system you are having and how it is being maintained and all those things. So here for this particular section, you have been given 300 marks. So the total the assessment methodology will be through direct observation, desktop assessment, as well as your citizens feedback. So this is applicable for all the cities. So first one in here is what type of system, what type of system it has been connected to. So it is a slight repetition to the previous one, but here actually we are focusing only on this sewer systems and INDs. So if your system has been 100%, if all your 100% households has been connected to this either sewer system or INDs, to drains, and the drains are eventually that has been connected to the INDs, then you will be getting 100% of 100 marks out of 300 marks. And then if there is any agency that is already in place, like URSUs and all those things in place, and for the maintenance of sewer networks, and if you are properly maintaining your sewer networks and all those things, and record of the same is available with the ULB, and if it has been found true during the direct assessment also, then you will be getting another 100 marks for this particular thing. And then if you have records of the percentage of septic tanks and along with soak pit that is being linked to your nearby STP or FSTP for proper treatment and conveyance and treatment, then you will be getting another 100 marks. So you will be getting all the 300 marks based on this one. Next slide, please. So next one is regarding the treatment of your wastewater. So here, if your treatment, whatever this sewage and as well as your fecal sludge, whatever it is being generated, more than 70% is being treated, then you'll be getting the entire 300 marks for this particular section. And if it is less than 25%, then you will not be getting any marks. And in between, the marks will be awarded accordingly as per the table, whatever it has been shown here. So the method of assessment will be through direct observation as well as your, desktop assessment. There won't be any citizens feedback for this particular category. Next slide, please. So the next one is recycle and reuse, but the catch in here is actually we are focusing only on the recycle and reuse of wastewater for industrial purpose. It is not for agriculture purpose, but it is for industrial purpose. For this, once again, you will be getting only direct observation as well as your desktop assessment will be carried out, and there will be no citizens feedback that is applicable for this particular assessment. And once again, this particular parameter, it is actually applicable only for the 50,000 and above towns and not for the other towns. And wherever the town is smaller or very smaller, then this marks will be allocated to the other three parameters accordingly. And then if your the total number of marks towards this particular section is 150, And if you are treating more than 20% of your treated wastewater is being used for the industrial purpose, you'll be getting the entire 150 marks. And then no treated wastewater is being utilized for the industrial purpose, then you'll be getting 0 marks. And in between, the marks will be awarded accordingly, right? So with this, we have come to the end of the forenoon's presentation. I hope you have gained a lot many things about this Swachh Survekshan, especially of the technicalities and all those things. You do have afternoon session. So with this, I'm concluding this session as well as my presentation. Thank you all for your patient listening. Bye-bye. You can leave. All of you can leave. There is no issues. You can leave. You can join us for the afternoon's presentation. Thank you very much, everyone.
Kindly note that we would once again be having the second part of the session from 3 to 5. Also, kindly note that we would be taking up your questions for first round of trainings that we've had in the second session. So we'll all see you back at 3 o'clock. Thank you for joining us.
पूरा 1000 लोग किया हुआ है। बोलना कुछ जब हुआ का दूसरा दूसरा सबसे बेकार है यार। हाँ तो ऊपर यहाँ है नहीं। हाँ यहाँ नहीं आराम तभी से चल रहा है क्या सुबह संबल को नल को ये मी गानूर ये लोग का तमिलनाडु है एसबीएपी ये तो
Is my audio clear?
Audible.
Kindly ask all the cities to join, please. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to start the afternoon session now. So we're going to start with section 6, a mechanization of desludging services, which carries 500 marks. And for ease of convenience, we're going to cover both section 6 and 9, one after the other, because they're both linked, right? So as we start, manhole to machine hole, or Safai Mitra Suraksha, as we call it in the ministry. This section has a few changes this year in this toolkit, so we're going to run you through the changes. Right, the number of sections do not change. It's still the same: equipment, workforce, and institutional parameters. All of them have 500 marks put together. Yeah, we'll get to your messages later. Thank you. So in the next slide, we'll cover 6.1, which is adequate equipment. Right. So as you know, there is a Safai Mitra Surakshit Shahar protocol that was released in 2022, which talks about the requirements of core equipment, special equipment, safety gear, and PPE, personal protective equipment. Right. The one significant change this year that the toolkit has is the differentiation between what is adequate and what is required. The protocol says that ULBs who have adequate equipment can qualify, right? And they can be considered as Safai Mitra Surakshit Shahar in that particular domain. So one significant change this year in the toolkit is the terminology of adequate has become now required. Required is how much ever is required for that particular equipment as part of the CPHU calculator. As you know, that Excel sheet is supposed to be given 100 marks. If a city requires 10 hydrovac, according to the Excel calculator, if you have 10, you get 100% marks. If you have less, then the marks will be redistributed according to the number of equipment you have. So that is the first difference you have. And the other difference is we have tried to combine all the individual equipment indicators into one single indicator, which is basically ULB has the required equipment to perform the mechanization part of the work. And you will still have to refer to the applicability criteria in the next slide. In the next slide, we'll show you the applicability criteria. Vishal, in the next slide. So this has not changed much. It's just more of a bucketing, a kind of a criteria we have tried to do: core equipment, special, safety gear, PPE. For some small cities with less than X population, you will see in each of the columns, some of the equipment is not applicable, and wherever it's not applicable, the marks will get redistributed, right? So going back to the previous slide, Vishal, in 6.1, the other difference you will notice is also for the safety gear. Earlier, it used to be one set of required equipment, which used to be 9 items. Right now, in this indicator, we're saying ULB, which has all the required sets as per the CPHO calculator, will get full marks. Same with PPE, we'll need to understand how many sanitation workers you have in the ULB, and vis-a-vis the number of PPE should be the same number. So if you have 100 sanitation workers, you need to have 100 PPE. Now, so this is a new indicator. The last one is fourth one is a new indicator. We're asking if ULB has a monitoring mechanism where we know that workers are definitely using PPE and safety gear according to the work that is being done. So if a person is doing a septic tank or desludging kind of a work, PPE is not going to help. They have to wear appropriate safety gear based on the items that has been provided in the CPHO calculator. So this is a new indicator. ULBs will have to figure out how you want to show the evidence of having procured this equipment and having a monitoring mechanism in place. This could be any way in terms of committees, it could be on-ground supervision. So whatever it has been done, it has to be documented and shown to the assessor, and this will be done through a direct observation as well. For 6.1, these are the changes. Moving to 6.2, this is adequate workforce for 90 marks. Again, we need to refer to the Safai Mitra Surakshit Shahar protocol, where cities who have at least 80% of estimated manpower were considered as Safai Mitra Surakshit Shahar. But now the indicator changes. Now it's no longer about 80% or 70% or 50%. You have to have 100% in order to qualify for full marks. Again, the indicators have been combined. Sewermen and baildars are now under same category. Does the city have enough workforce which will require an estimation of both the sewermen and sanitary baildar? This question holds true even if the cities do not have sewers and only septic tanks. Right, so kindly notice the difference between adequacy and requirement. Requirement is 100%. Adequacy is as per the protocol earlier. Now we're following 100%. Now, another new indicator that was introduced under this is the second one under here, which is percentage of trained workforce, and this includes both sewermen and sanitary baildars. And this is particularly about the training that was held this financial year. This and basically we are saying if you have X number of sanitation workers, let's say you have 100, out of which how many have been trained this particular year, that will be the calculation, and the marks will be distributed accordingly. If a training has been conducted, the record has to be shown to the assessor. Now, the third indicator against this is also a new indicator. If you recall, in 2022, MOHUA has sent a DO asking all states and cities to identify sewer entry professionals from within their existing workforce to be trained further for sewer entry professional training, confined space training. If such an identification has been done, the city is going to get 30 marks. So this identification can be as part of some kind of a notification, earlier notification. This will not be considered if the notification comes now. It has to be an older notification. And people, the ULB will nominate or identify as a sewer entry professional eligible for sewer entry professional training has to be a ULB employee. It cannot be an informal person or a contractual person or an PSS SOCA employee. It has to be a ULB owned employee. So kindly look at the DO, and if you have a notification for this, this is what the assessor will be looking at. And again, network and only has septic tanks, that does not matter. Sewer entry professional is a general term. It is basically meant for confined space entry, even though it is done in extraordinarily exceptional circumstances. On the rare chance that it happens, it is expected that a ULB has nominated 1 or 2 professionals identified for this purpose who will be trained, who are already trained or who will be trained, and will conduct that work only under supervision. So that is on 6.2. We will be moving to 6.3 for 150 marks. For 6.3, it's institutional parameters. As you know, the institutional domain under the Safai Mitra Surakshit Shahar protocol requires that a responsible sanitation authority is constituted, which is usually a district collector or a deputy commissioner or a district magistrate. Can you see the slide 6.3? Yeah. Similarly, the protocol also requests ULBs to institute an emergency sanitation response unit, either as a standalone unit at the municipal corporation, or if it is a smaller city, it will be instituted at the district headquarters ULB. So basically, if you're an independent city like a corporation, you have to have your own ERSU. If you're part of a ERSU cluster, then you will have to show the assessor that document basically that's saying I'm part of this ERSU cluster, which this cluster has 4 or 5 ULBs and the headquarters is in so and so place. And I'm part of the cluster, and therefore any equipment that I require that is not with me is going to come from the district headquarters ERSU. So this documentation has to be with you. The other is the helpline part of it, which is an old indicator, as you know. So rest of them are old indicators. The one new indicator we have introduced under 6.3 this year is the adoption of the contract with the private operator. As you recall, last year around this time, Mahua has shared a model document for both empanelment of private operators and having a contract with these private operators, 2 documents. So this indicator has been introduced to understand how many cities have adopted the spirit and letter of this contract. And if you have done so, then you get the X number of marks. Everything else remains the same. And this, with respect to the city having had 0 fatalities related to hazardous cleaning, if anybody has unfortunately passed away, etc., the reports that will be looked at are not just hearsay, but also NSKFDC website, and also the SSR will cross-verify with news reports online or otherwise. The rest of the indicators remain the same. If there's any clarification, you can take it up after the call or independently. So we'll move to 9.1 section, which is the overall welfare of sanitation workers for 500 marks. Now, in this case, when we say welfare of sanitation workers, we mean all sanitation workers, that are SWM, sewer and septic tank workers, folks who clean the drains, streets, etc., etc. Basically, welfare of all sanitation workers. It's not specific. This needs to be noted. Now, in this section, the assessors will also interact with the sanitation workers, and the sanitation workers, you will have to introduce them, has to be a mix of all of them, SWM, sewer and septic tank workers, drain cleaning, street cleaning workers, etc., etc. So it has to be a full pool of them so that the assessors can interact and understand their training, their exposure, their the enforcement and the welfare, all of these components that are under this section. Now, there are some new indicators we have introduced. The very first one, you all know, you anyway updated on Swachhatam portal, but here's a sincere request again. The Swachhatam portal does not have updated information on sanitation workers at all. This needs to be improved because every linkage, whether it's health related or shiver related, comes from here. All reporting to PMO comes from here. This absolutely needs to be updated. And if you mention we have 1,000 workers here, and then somewhere else the training has happened for 1,200, these things will be used as penalty against the city as part of the survection. So we ensure, all data is triangulated. All denominators should be remaining the same across different indicators. So number 1 is basically please update your data on sanitation workforce on Swachhatam portal. Number 2 is The second indicator is new. We have introduced a training component to the workers. If you said we have 1,000 workers, and then you say you have 500 trainings conducted, we want to see the record of these 500 people who have been trained and in what space, if they're, whether it's solid waste or wastewater management, whether it's ULB's own employees or whether it's outsourced, it's equally important to train or oversee the training of these workers. Next one is an old indicator, the linkage to at least 3 eligible central or state government schemes you're familiar with. The next one is also familiar, whether you do it as part of the annual health checkup, whether you do it as part of Safai Mitra Suraksha Shivir or independently, it doesn't matter as long as an annual health checkup is being conducted for all the workers. The next indicator is new, which is basically a special provision to address sanitation workers' grievances. It could be in form of a WhatsApp, it could be in form of a help desk or a helpline, a physical presence, digital presence, either way, but you'll have to show evidence that ULB is catering to their grievances in some form. So we have introduced that indicator this year. This was actually made a separate indicator. Last year, we had an indicator that said, does the ULB have special welfare initiatives, which was an umbrella term for all kinds of facilities. But this time we have given special focus on grievances for sanitation workers. Next indicator remains the same, whether the sanitation workers are given PPE kits. And the next one is new. This is different. This is different in the sense our sewer and septic tank workers provided safety gear. Please note that SWM workers are not provided safety gear. They do not. This is very specific to sewer and septic tank workers. The safety gear is not given to them, but so as to made available to them, either through the ERSU or either through the supervisor, irrespective of the ERSU cluster. If they are handling any sewer and septic tank work, they have to be provided the safety gear on site. And this is the job of the ULB. And how will you show this as evidence is you can show it as photographs, you can show it as documentation, you could show it as an SOP or a protocol. So the next indicator is an old one. Basically, as you know, under Namaste, all sewer and septic tank workers have been getting enumerated for the past 2 years. You are in charge of this job. So basically, to understand that all of the workers, if you have said we have 1,000 workers who are sewer and septic tank workers in Swachhatam portal, and we're going to check on Namaste portal whether against this ULB 1,000 workers are there or not. So both on Namaste and Swachhatam portal, which requests that the numbers remain same. Next indicator is new. It is about the loan mela for under Swachhata Udyami Yojana or otherwise that ULB can independently organize. You will recall a DO from Mahua again 2 years ago where Mahua was encouraging ULBs to hold loan melas so that workers tend to become sanipreneurs if interested. So this indicator basically says if a ULB has an organized loan mela this year, you get additional marks. Last indicator remains the same as before, which is any special initiative. It can be anything really, sky's the limit, but as long as it's something point one, which will be taken care of by my colleagues. Thank you.
Am I audible? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So I will be explaining an indicator which is very essential for the mission. As you know, Swachh Bharat is a mission that depends very heavily on continuous and consistent public advocacy, consistent messaging, and the right messaging. So we request you to please pay attention to this indicator because this will basically be an assessment of the activities that you have done in the last year. And there have been some very key campaigns that have happened in the last year. So the indicator will very heavily rely on the data that has already been provided by the ULBs submitted on Swachhtam portal. So in total, the IEC or the behavior change aspect of Swachh Survekshan carries 1000 marks. We'll just go indicator wise and explain it to you. So the focus for this year is actually actualizing the action plans that have been submitted by the states to Mahua. You would remember that each state has submitted action plans for IEC and behavior change communication. We would request all ULBs to get a copy of that action plan if possible. Otherwise, be in constant communication with the state. Is agreed upon with Mahua about what the communication should be. Some of the key pillars of communication, consistent communication, has been source segregation, Hara Gila Sukha Nila, ensuring no littering, always ensuring plastic-free zones, zero waste events. So on the basis of that, in that spirit, this indicator is applicable to all cities. And the fact of the IEC action plan carries 100 marks. So if you have submitted an IEC action plan, that carries 100 marks. And if the ULB has prepared an IEC advocacy plan along with an IEC calendar, because as you would appreciate, an action plan would just be paper unless there is a actionable calendar and actionable plan in place to make that plan on ground. So I would request you to please submit those IEC calendars to the team, the assessment team. The second would be if the ULB has prepared an IEC advocacy plan to complete the overall targets under the action plan. So please get a copy of the action plan to see what the action plan was and map the targets, see how far the ULB has come in terms of fulfilling the goals of the mission and fulfilling the goals of the IEC action plan, which was agreed with Mahua. The main thing that we would want you to focus on is ensuring that the correct information is submitted. The assessment will happen in two ways. One is things that have already been submitted on Swachhtam portal. And secondly, there will be a collection of data by the third party vendor. So please ensure that you submit correct data to the team that will be assessing you. As you know, for the mission, the local champions, brand ambassadors, and all types of leadership that have been engaged. This is very essential. This is part of continuous activities for IEC and BCC. So that will also be part of the assessment this year. And integration of IEC messaging with all local festivals, hearts, melas, even if it is strategic places like malls, those things also carry weightage in this year. An important part for you to remember is, as I said, that the beginning of SBM 2.0 focuses on source segregation, Hara Gila Sukha Nila. So that remains the focus also even right now. So source segregation and targeted campaigns that ULBs have carried out for Hara Gila Sukha Nila will be marked. What kind of anti-littering campaigns, the percentage of market areas that have been reached for anti-littering, that will also be marked. The use of Swachhta app, the percentage of increase of users over the previous years, that will also be taken into consideration this year. Swachhta app is a fully functional entity, a tech entity that has been handed over. We would request the ULBs to always use those platforms that are readily available for benefit of everybody in general. The fourth point is RRR centers. You would remember 3 years ago now, the ministry had announced the new nudge policy, the new nudge scheme to set up RRR centers across ULBs. So how the RRR center is being used is a big focus area for this assessment, because it should not be that the RRR center becomes a dumping ground. It should not be that the RRR center has become an abandoned site where citizens are not even aware that an RRR center exists. That is not the purpose of the center at all. So ULBs are urged to please reconsider, in case there is some course correction that needs to be done, then please reconsider the way in which RRR centers is being utilized, and align it with the goal and the vision of Mahua. There are many exceptional RRR centers that are functioning across ULBs as we speak. So if your RRR center is not functioning properly, it would be good for you to do a quick search and a quick research on the functional RRR centers. Indore, for example, has a great RRR center, so you could please refer to that, and any other. There are lots of cities with very good RRR centers. The fifth is the use of SUP alternatives. As you know, the mission is very firm on this matter, and there is absolutely no scope for single-use plastic. And the mission has been nudging the phasing out of single-use plastic by utilizing any eco-friendly material. So the fifth will be an assessment of the number of shops or markets that are adopting the alternative materials, alternative to single-use plastic. It could be jute bags, it could be cloth bags, it could be any other innovative item, but we will be assessing the number of shops. The sixth is anti-spitting and open urination. The huge issue of red spots and yellow spots that plague urban India today. So we would request you to have constant communication about this, constant messaging about this, and also targeted campaigns. So the kind of campaigns that have been done, that will be assessed, and the hotspots especially, that will be assessed. It could happen that, you know, the corners of many cities are unsafe from red spots and yellow spots. So please do make sure that campaigns keep happening and already have happened. The next is taking forward the open defecation messaging. There is constant need to ensure that we maintain the open defecation goal that SBM phase 1 has achieved. There are many slippages. We both know, or everybody knows here, that open defecation is a goalpost that we have to keep achieving. So please ensure that targeted campaigns at hotspots are happening for open defecation. And final one for this 300 marks is the use of public toilets. At any stage in time, citizens need to gain and regain trust in public toilets. It is essential. The ministry has on many occasions spoken extensively on this. There have been many targeted campaigns on this matter, like the Clean Toilets campaign and Toilets 2.0. So targeted campaigns for the usage of public toilets will be marked as part of this indicator. Moving on, any interpersonal communication with households and commercial establishments is also part of the marking. We understand that the goal of Hara Gila Sukha Neela is incomplete if we leave households and commercial establishments. So 100 marks will be awarded to ULBs that have successfully set up communication channels with households and commercial establishments for Swachhta messaging. And the next part, which is an even more important part, is the engagement of the ULB in national campaigns. Mahua is in the business of running many very high impact campaigns, and we have listed a few here. The first is Har Ghar Tiranga, Har Ghar Swachhta. You would remember that in August last year, around Independence Day, the ministry had run the Har Ghar Tiranga, Har Ghar Swachhta campaign. As part of this, the SUP flag ban was communicated. So was that has to be what will be assessed as part of Swachh Survekshan is whether that was disseminated at scale, whether citizens were aware that the SUP flag ban was there, and that it is encouraged to have SUP free alternatives to make the Indian flag, and the percentage of shops that were making these alternatives available to citizens. So that is one. The second is World Environment Day, which is 5th June. Again, we nudged for SUP-free markets, RWA's institutions. So that will also be awarded 50 marks. The next is the monsoon season, where Safai Apnao Bimari Bhagao happens. It's an annual campaign. And we are interested to know the percentage of schools that participated in this hand washing campaign and in general this cleanliness campaign. So please do give us authentic, verified data. The next is the Swachhta Seva Pakwada, the annual whole of government, whole of society Pakwada that takes place. So over here, we are interested to know about the cleanliness target units. As you know, cleanliness target units are not only GDPs. Cleanliness target units are those units and those garbage spots in ULBs that have been historically very difficult to clean, that cannot be cleaned as part of random cleanup drives or plugging drives, that need dedicated effort over many days to clean up and perhaps even a few machinery. So what we are interested to know is the retention of transformed CTUs. Like how many CTUs that have been transformed have remained transformed, and how many ULBs are taking this as an ongoing activity. So reporting for this is essential. And the har ghanta, the Ek Tarik Ek Ghanta Ek Saath campaign, which was also done this year as part of 2025. So the percentage of population ULB that participates. So please make sure that authentic data is given, that is verifiable in case the assessment team wants to check. We would like to know the number of people that the ULB was able to mobilize for simultaneous cleanliness drives that were taking place as part of Swachh Bharat Divas. And finally, we would be very interested to know whether the ULB has implemented their own city level IEC advocacy campaigns. In this for this 100 marks, it is basically open for anyone to earn. This will mainly be about innovation, the kind of innovative ideas that have come forward, and there are many. There are thousands and thousands of innovative ideas that cities come up with, which the national team also takes into account. Many of it is tweeted. Many of it comes into a lot of Mahua books and magazines, which I'm sure all of you are looking at. So we are very interested to know the way in which the ULB is implementing your own advocacy campaigns, culturally relevant advocacy campaigns, the kind of campaigns that citizens can relate to. So the 100 marks will be awarded for that. So that is it for the behavior change section.
Hello everyone again. We will be picking up section 7.2, which is capacity building for Swachhata for 500 marks. So you will note that CB section has been significantly revamped in this toolkit. The focus is not only just on CB activities, but also what was planned against which what was implemented. So in order to do this, what we have tried to look at is every state's CB action plan. This is under evaluation for the toolkit, what has been promised versus what has been implemented. So every ULB is expected to have an annual capacity building plan for this financial year, along with a training calendar with different activities. And the evidence of this is to be shown to the assessor, the annual plan. That is your first indicator. And your second indicator is a plan for the future. So the mission period ends in 2027 March. However, under SPM, we'd like to see if ULP has future capacity building plan. It does not have to be very detailed, but still, what is the plan to complete the overall targets that have been mentioned under the CB action plan for the mission period? So let's say you have submitted an action plan for CB in the year 2022 saying you will train X number of sanitation workers, X number of officials, etc., etc. So many NGOs will get involved, so many people will get hired, etc., etc. Against that, what is the completion stage for today? So these two indicators are absolutely new, and this evidence of the same should be shown to the SSR. Now, the second one is the human resource availability. We all understand that under SBM 2.0, there's a huge emphasis on having certain capacities built at both at state and ULP level. The positions have also been recommended. Now, against these positions that were recommended, how many posts have been filled? And we will be looking at both PHE and health departments. So at the ULP level, whether it's engineers or sanitation, sanitary inspectors, etc., what are the sanctioned posts and who are in position right now for implementing SBM rules? This could include, again, ULP officials, engineers, sanitary inspectors. It does not have to be ULP's own officials. It can be outsourced also. Now, the second indicator under this subsection is that ULP maintains a record of all of the sanitation workers on the Swachh portal. This we have covered earlier also in terms of sewer and septic tank workers. Now, this indicator covers all sanitation workers. Someone has put a question regarding the bulk upload on Swachh portal and if the data will be revised, etc., etc. We will get back to you on this through an update on WhatsApp. So bear with us on that. Now, another new indicator under CB is how the human resources have been augmented for a ULP. For example, if you've not been able to employ or you do not have your own resources for engineers and municipal officials, how has the ULP tried to augment it through other means? Whether it's contractual, whether it's internships, whether it's NGO partnerships, could be through private sector support, etc., etc. But the idea is to have enough capacity to run the mission, whether it's through own or outsourced facilities or resources. Under training delivery, earlier we had two indicators in the previous toolkit. The two indicators, older ones, were basically asking if the ULB has conducted any training for different categories of workers and if they have conducted different types of workshops. This we have tried to split very specifically into these following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories, just like the way it is in the CB action plan that gets submitted for the mission period. So training of ground staff indicator will involve the trainings conducted to sanitation workers, except training is considered as an input and the trained people are considered as an output. So for this indicator, we're looking at outputs. The percentage of workers trained in this current financial year as per the plan that you have submitted. This could include both own and private workers and across all topics that they have to work on. Same with the executive staff. These are basically municipal officials, non-engineering, however. This could be your CMOs, it could be on health side of workers, officials, trained in this current financial year as per your plan that you have submitted to Mahua or to the state. Same with training of technical staff. This is a percentage of engineers, PhD officials trained in this year. The training does not have to be done by ULB alone, even if the training is done by a separate agency, another organization, or by state, that still counts. Training of supervisory staff will involve sanitary inspectors and health officials or any other terminology that is common in your state, in your ULP. But again, this also is vis-a-vis the CB action plan that was submitted or created. Community training and orientation for service providers are also new indicators. So it is expected that for ULB to be able to implement all SBM components, the support of community, your civil society organizations, your academic institutions, etc., etc., all of them have to come together. So it is, we're trying to understand how many such orientation / trainings have been conducted and if they've been conducted. So if you have, even if one, there is no number here, even if you conducted one, this will be counted for. Same with orientation for service providers, your private operators, whether they're involved in solid waste or UWM work, if they've been oriented. And you have to show the evidence for this in terms of photographs, dates, notifications, etc., to the assessor. And the last indicator is an older one, which is basically if the city has been able to expose itself either to another city or even whether you have conducted it or whether you've participated in another city's peer learning workshop, you get marks for this. That's on CB. We move to the next section.
Good afternoon, everyone. So now we will start the section 8 indicators. So the first indicator in 8 section is Swachh water ranking. It is same as last year. So in Swachh water ranking, so there's a dedicated set of questions on the MOA website, which is for Swachh water ranking. In that, ULBs are asked to rank their wards. In that ward, they are they have to arrange competition among the ULB like Swachh RWA, Swachh Hospital, Swachh Market Organization, Swachh School, Swachh Offices. There are different set of entities. Among them, ULB can create a competition, and then after the arranging the competition, they have to award the best hospital, best RWA, best market organization. That is called a Swachh Ward ranking competition. So it is same as last year. ULB need to arrange a competition among all the categories and then submit document on the Swachhtam portal. It is of 100 marks. And then the next indicator is the GMIS indicator.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Vishal? Anyone can confirm, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, good evening, everyone. So, now the next indicator we have is the for to monitor the project management part. So, project management means here the infrastructure projects which you are constructing and commissioning on the ground. So, it is majorly about your CSWAP project and CSAP projects which you are monitoring in the GMIS. So, it is a critical component in this survection which consists of around 800 max. So just a moment, I will, yeah. So it is around 800 marks right now. So here the critical component, if you see, all states have already been trained a couple of times how to use the GMI system. So it's a simple, like, whatever action plan you got submitted in the Swastham portal and it got approved by the center, they all automatically comes into GMIS portal. Now you have to geotag these projects in the GMS portal, as well as you have to map the status correctly in the GMS portal as and when there is an update. Okay. So first thing is that how you will do that. The first thing is that you have to see that how many projects you have approved from the NARC. Firstly, you should have that details. After that, you have to map that whatever approval you have taken from the NARC, that all approval and action plan should be submitted in the Swachhtam portal and approved by the center. After that, all this will be reflected in the GMIS portal. So whatever projects you have approved in NAR, all those should be available in the GMIS portal as well. This is the first approach. The first step. Now, second step is all projects should be geotagged. Okay, so you have to map what is the location of this project. There are many concerns sometimes that we have not finalized any land, this that. But what happened? At least one area got finalized. That, for example, I will create this project in sector 19 of Noida. Might be I'm not fully aware at which particular location, but I know a particular area. So you can map or geotag this project on this particular location and functionality as well in the mobile app, where you can finally change your location once you got the approval for a finalized place or once the construction starts. So at the first at that time you can change that geo location also. So firstly you will submit all the action plan against the NARC approval. Then you will map all these projects in the GMIS. After mapping, it is important that you update the status of the project. But we have noticed that sometimes you have mapped the status, for example, DPR under preparation, but after 6 months still this status is DPR under preparation, but on the ground project has been tendered or work order has been allocated or might be construction has started. So it is very important that you go through GMIS, download your reports and see what are the status and continuously update the project. So I think already 3-4 times trainings has been provided. Weekly, we are also shooting the status of GMIS, where you can track where what is the status of your state, and accordingly you can follow that. In that report, we are also highlighting what are the gaps in your NARC approval as well as the projects which you have submitted in the GMIS. So I think this is from the GM. So it carries 800 marks. So it is important that you go through it, review your ULB performance. At the state level, we have a state level dashboard. There are two kind of dashboard is available, where you can filter out CSWAP project as well as CSAP projects. And accordingly, it is very easy. Firstly, you see that what are the projects which are not geotagged. Firstly, geotag those. If you geotagged, it comes to the ongoing. The status becomes ongoing. You can download a report and you can see even in the ongoing what is the status: land not allotted, DPR under construction, etc., etc. So in that way you can track. So I think this is for the project management, sanctioning and approval part, GMIS. And in case, of course, this is not a technical session, so, but if you face any problem in the GMIS issue, so reach out to your state coordinator. They will arrange a slot with IT team, and then we will look into the issues if you face or query you have for the GMIS. I think this is all from project management, sanctioning and approval. Then we have Vishal, who is presenting this. Vishal, I think. Vishal, yeah, you can go down. Thing.
Yes. So next indicator is cost recovery. In this indicator, we will check what is the percentage of operational maintenance cost for the collection and transportation is adequately covered by the user charges in the ULB. So, for example, if a ULB is covering at least 60% of their operation cost for collection transportation, then they will be given maximum marks, which is 80 marks for this indicator. And subsequently, there are 4 sub-parameters. For 50%, they are 60 marks. And then if the ULB is covering at least 40%, then 40 marks will give to ULB. And if the ULB is covering at least 30% of the operational cost, then they will be given 20 marks. And then another 20 marks is for whether user charges to recover operation charges against solid waste collection and processing been notified by the ULB in their bylaws. So if they have notified in the bylaws, then they will be given 20 marks separately. So this indicator is of 2 parts. One is 80 marks and another is 20 marks, total 100 marks. And this indicator is applicable for all the ULBs. So we move to the next indicator, which is 9th. We already covered 10th section, which is citizen feedback and grievance redressal. Manish, sir.
Yeah, Vishal, thank you. So, guys, again, this is again a critical component consisting of 1000 marks. So if I say, whatever you do on the ground, but what your citizen perceives about your city, that is the most important thing. Okay. So these indicators, um, this indicator talks about the citizen feedback and grievance redressal. So the same phenomena as we do in the every year. So I think early next week we will be releasing a alert for you how you can go about this citizen feedback. But what will happen is that we will create an online form, and this online form will be available into various platforms. For example, citizen feedback form we will create. First, this will be available at our SBM Urban website. Second, it will be available in the Swachhta app. Third, as you know, there is an app Vote for Your City. Okay, so you can go through SBM Urban and you can download it. In Google, you can type SBM Urban Android, or you will get a Vote for Your City. In the alert also, we will send you the link to download this Vote for Your City app. So you have to disseminate this information, these feedback channels in your city, so that citizen should be aware about it, and then they can provide these feedback. Okay, so quickly I will show you. I will share my screen, Vishal. Quickly, I will show you how it will be done. So Vishal, I think, yeah, 1 minute. So Vishal, my screen is visible, right? Yeah, okay. So in that way, this form is something like this one across all the channels. So citizen feedback. 1 minute. Vishal, I am sharing my screen. Just one. Again, this.
Okay.
Okay, so this screen will be available across all the regions in the website, in Vote for Your City, as well as in Swachhta tab. So you will click on the Get Started. Citizen will provide his number, and I will say continue. There are various languages available, regional languages as well, English, Hindi. So he will select a particular language. On the basis of the question will also language and all thing will be changed. So I will select my, I can select my state. I will select my district, and then location name might be I will provide it, and then have your resident of urban cities, ender of Westport, this one, and you would, and then you would do the start survey. There are 10 questions right now with answers. So, like, does someone come to your household to collect waste on a daily basis? Yes or no? So I will select. Citizens will select the options, whatever. So you will select. You will select all questions. Just go through, submit it, and then one OTP will be received, just to restrict the duplicate entries, because sometimes we notice from one number they are submitting a lot of. So once you submitted your feedback, then next time you can't submit it. Okay, so like your participant is helping, so you get a thank you message. Now again I will start, and I will put my number, then it will show me alert message that you can only take the survey once. So in that way, the citizen feedback will be live. It will be live at 3 channels The same file will be available in the SBM Urban website. In the Swachhata one option will also be available to fill the survey, as well as in the Vote for Your City app. They can download and fill from that Vote for Your City app also. So these will be the three channels to provide the citizen feedback. And I think one more which I want to say, 1 minute, hold on. Yeah. So if you see in the event, so one feedback is this one, which is citizen is provided. Another feedback when the field assessors goes to a city, they have one mobile application also where they took the feedback, where they take the feedback from the citizens from on the ground. It's a face-to-face feedback they took from the citizens. So one is from the various channels, one is from the field assessors taking on the ground. So 80% weightage from the for the feedback which are taken by the third party assessor, and 20% weightage which we are taking from website, Vote for Your City and Swachhata app. Another number which we are working on, and I think soon it will be released, is WhatsApp number. Okay, so we soon we are going to launch a WhatsApp number for the Swachh Bharat mission. So here we will disseminate this number. Cities will also disseminate this number when we will launch that, and then citizen can type a hi on that number, and after submit the hi, there's various options will be available to the citizens about, they can know about the Swachh Bharat mission or another stories about the Swachh Bharat missions, etc. They can raise a complaint also from the Swachhta, and they can provide the feedback also from the WhatsApp number. So once they select this option, provide the city feedback, then questions will become, they will select and they can submit. So that medium will also be enabled. Might be it will take some a little bit of time, but this channel will also be available. So I think this is from the citizen feedback perspective. Now, if I talk about the grievance redressal, so as you know that one of the critical application which we have at the national level is Swachhata app. I think more than 4,000 cities are already on board in the Swachhata app. So we will take a dump from there, that how many complaints we have received for a particular period of time, how many got resolved, how many got resolved within the SLA. So this will be tracked. So this is a simple thing, but another important thing which I want to highlight is that there are many cities which are using their local app. So might be there you are you are using one app and you are resolving all the complaints within timelines. You have excellent performance there, but this is not integrated with Swachhata app. So we do not have we do not have access of that repository which you are using on your city level. So it is very important that you integrate your city app with our Swachhata app, and you push your latest you push your data to the Swachhata app, so that when we provide this dump to the field assessment, so those complaints and your performance will be considered there also. So I think one important thing is this one, integrate your local app with our the Swachhata app, reach out to your state coordinator. They will arrange a meeting with our IT team, and then if required, we can connect with you. But there is a simple thing, you can open Swachh City portal. So it's simple, just to start with, you type Google and then 1 minute. Yeah. So my screen is visible. So much. My screen दिख Yeah. So you type Swachh City, you click on Swachh City portal. 1 minute. My screen is visible or not? My screen not visible. No? It's 1 minute. Let me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Okay, right. So open this Swachh City portal. Go here, click here for help. There are various documents available here. Okay. So if your city is not even onboarded on the Swachhata app, open this document. How can my ULB onboard on Swachhata portal? Okay. So this is the process how you can onboard, what you need to write, what mail you have to send, what details you have to send. This everything is written down here. So by this your ULB will be onboarded, but I think maximum ULBs are already onboarded. So that's not an issue. But you go to down and there you can see, how to integrate local city app and Swachhata portal API, local city app integration with Swachhata app. So you open this document here. We have listed down the APIs. Your IT team can go through with this API and They require one vendor ID key that we will provide. Otherwise, they can start with the API development, and you can easily integrate your local city app with our Swachhta application. So this is one important thing for the grievance. I think these are the only, yeah. So, and again, one more thing is that we are also working on this WhatsApp channel where we are also implementing the workflow of Swachhta complaint registration. So instead of downloading Swachhta app, and carry in their mobile every time update this local app, we will have an option on the WhatsApp number also where citizen can type hi. And then various options will come. One of the option is to register a complaint. They register a complaint, they select a category, they share their location, they share a complaint picture, a little bit about the complaint, and automatically it will be generated from the backend. They will get a message that this will be your ID. And once this ID when this complaint comes into work in progress by a citizen, we will send a notification to the citizen that your complaint is under progress. And once it got resolved, then again they will get a notification, WhatsApp notification, that your ID, your complaint got resolved. So I think this is with the respect of two things: citizen feedback and grievance redress. I think that's all from my side. So I think early next week we will enable this feedback mechanism on the various channels. We will create a dashboard also on the website as well as in the Swachhta portal, where cities as well as states can monitor that how many feedbacks they have got. State can see how many feedback they have got from respective cities, and cities can see that whatever feedback they have received with the various channel from website, from Vote for Your City, and from Swachhta. So I think Vishal, that's all from my side. You can continue. Thank you. Yeah, Vishal. So, yeah, Vishal, you can share your screen then. I think we have done with citizen feedback grievance redressal.
Thank you so much, Manish. We have completed the toolkit training, so we can take some questions now. There are some questions in the chat box. So Manish, one person is asking, please share latest SOP integration city local app with Swachhta app. I think we have shared that.
Yeah, that I have already shown, but I think I just write 1 minute. I type this also. Please share. Okay. So I think one URL I have typed here in the chat window. This is a Swachh City portal. Otherwise, you just need write a Google Swachh City, and Swachh City you will get a click here for app button. You click here, then document will be there. I think currently to integrate toll numbers with Swachhta, we do not have any APIs, but might be, even if you are integrating your toll numbers, but at the back end, you are receiving, in my view, you have a toll number, you are getting a call on your toll number, then must be at the back end, you have a system where you are registering your complaints. Okay, I got this complaint from this citizen for this category and this category. So that backend system you can integrate with our Swachhta app.
Paisuru, DUGC, do you have any question?
सर नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
सर जैसे कि जिस इंडिकेटर नंबर 3.8 में लिखा हुआ है आरआर सेंटर के बाद, तो अगर हमारी पॉपुलेशन वेरी स्मॉल और मीडियम में भी नहीं आती है तो उसके लिए हम एप्लीकेबल है क्या?
कितनी पॉपुलेशन है?
क्या सर?
कितनी पॉपुलेशन आपकी सिटी की सर?
20,001
तो ये 3.9 जो हमारा इंडिकेटर है आरआरआर सेंटर, वो उसमें एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, तो उस सेक्शन के अंदर अदर इंडिकेटर्स में आपको मार्क्स मिलेंगे सर।
तो उसमें जैसे कि आरआर सेंटर में है कुल 150 मार्क्स है और हम इसमें एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, तो हमारी फुल मार्क्स मिलेंगे या उसी के कुछ कम मार्क्स मिलेंगे, ऐसा कुछ है क्या?
थर्ड सेक्शन में जो परफॉर्मेंस होगी, परसेंटेज मार्क्स स्कोर करेंगे, उस हिसाब से उतना परसेंट आपको इस इंडिकेटर में मिल जाएगा। तीसरे सेक्शन की परफॉर्मेंस के ऊपर डिपेंड होगा वो।
हाय विशाल जी, रायपुर म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन से क्यों है
जी।
what is the last date for the GMIS and what is the status, like how the Swachh Survekshan Jodi ranking will take place?
तो शहर जोड़ी की रैंकिंग तो अभी इसका कुछ डिसाइडेड नहीं है। सो उनका रैंकिंग नहीं, उनका एक अवार्ड कैटेगरी हमने इंट्रोड्यूस किया है, सो इट विल बी डिसाइडेड लेटर ऑन। तो जैसे ही उसका कुछ अभी बनाते हैं हम लोग क्राइटेरिया, तो वी विल शेयर विद ऑल द यूएलबीज।
And also the ranking was also not mentioned in the toolkit. How
Very
the
good. Please
assessment
speak louder.
criteria will work for the Swachh Award defined in the toolkit? How the assessment will take place?
की आवाज बहुत तुम्हारी है। You are talking about Swachh Award ranking indicator.
Yeah.
What is the question?
So timeline is not defined in the toolkit.
Timeline in the previous year you have done, like for example, till December 2025. If you have done Swachh Award ranking, it will be considered. Earlier we used to get 3 months, 6 months, or 2 times a year.
So how it will get assessed, like the system portal? I think the options are not coming in the details. What did they were details?
The agency is onboarded now, so they are planning the list of documents required and the questions to be uploaded on the GMIS portal. So we will inform all the ULBs through an alert. जो भी fields हमें MIS पे upload करवानी होंगी, we will.
It's audible, sir?
Yes.
Hello?
Please.
This side Yogesh Rana on the behalf of Jamshedpur Notified Area Committee. So
जी
my
सर।
concern सर कि स्वच्छता ऐप पे सर हम लोग कंप्लेन रिजॉल्व करने में बहुत दिक्कत हो रहा है सर। वो ऐप कभी काम नहीं कर रहा है, उससे क्या हो रहा है कि हमारा एसएलजी पीरियड ओवर हो जा रहा है सर। उसको उसके लिए हम मेल भी किए हैं सर। जो इशू हमको क्रिएट हो रहा है उसको रिगार्डिंग हम मेल भी किए हैं और उसको मेल को
इसको
दोबारा भी
योगेश जी क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है आपको स्वच्छता ऐप में?
सर उसमें जैसे प्रॉब्लम को रिजॉल्व, जब प्रॉब्लम जिसने भी अपना कंसर्न डाला सफाई से रिलेटेड, जब उसको हम जो कंप्लेन को रिजॉल्व करने के बाद उसको जब सबमिट कर रहे हैं तो उसको सबमिट
नहीं, आप सबमिट कहाँ से कर रहे हैं ये बताइए।
इंजीनियरिंग ऐप
पोर्टल से?
हाँ,
इंजीनियर ऐप से?
जी इंजीनियरिंग ऐप से।
नहीं, आप मुझे बताइए कि जब आप कंप्लेंट आई है, कंप्लेंट पोर्टल से रिजॉल्व कर रहे हैं, ऐप से रिजॉल्व कर रहे हैं, कहाँ से रिजॉल्व कर रहे हैं?
सर कंप्लेन कर दिया स्वच्छतम पोर्टल पे, तो हमने
नहीं, पहले तो स्वच्छतम नहीं, पहले तो स्वच्छतम पोर्टल पे कंप्लेंट नहीं होती है, कंप्लेंट स्वच्छता ऐप से आती है, स्वच्छतम पोर्टल पे कोई कंप्लेंट नहीं है।
ऐप से बात कर रहा हूँ सर, सॉरी। स्वच्छता ऐप पे सर किसी ने कंप्लेन कर दिया सर, स्वच्छता ऐप से कंप्लेन आने के हमने उस पार्टिकुलर जगह का जो भी कंप्लेन था उसको रिजॉल्व कर दिया। नाउ थ्रू द इंजीनियरिंग ऐप सॉल्व करना है, तो वहाँ पे हमको सर आगे फॉरवर्ड ही नहीं होता। वहाँ पे उसको कंसर्न को लेके हमने स्क्रीनशॉट भी मेल किए हुए हैं सर।
यार देखो, अभी मतलब ऐसा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, बट मैं आपको बता देता हूँ प्रोसेस। अगर उस प्रोसेस को आप फॉलो करो ठीक है, तो आप नहीं तो क्या है, स्वच्छता ऐप ने सिटीजन ने कंप्लेंट करी, अगर आपके वार्ड में इंजीनियर्स मैप है तो ऑटोमेटिकली इंजीनियर को मैप हो जाएगी, अदरवाइज आप स्वच्छ सिटी पोर्टल से किसी इंजीनियर को असाइन करोगे, ठीक है।
ठीक है।
अब उसके बाद क्या होता है, एसबीएम इंजीनियर ऐप है, तो पहले क्या होता था, आप पोर्टल से भी बंद कर क्लोज कर सकते थे। एसबीएम इंजीनियर वाला, मान लीजिए यहाँ से 15 किलोमीटर दूर कोई कंप्लेंट रेज हुई थी, मैंने 20 किलोमीटर दूर से भी मैं उसको अपने ऐप में जाके क्लोज कर सकता था। अभी हमने फंक्शनैलिटी क्या करी है कि जहाँ पे कंप्लेंट, जिस लोकेशन पे कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर हुई है ना, उसी के 50 मीटर के अंदर इंजीनियर को जाना होता है और वहीं से क्लोज करनी पड़ती है, तभी वो क्लोज हो गया। और कहीं और बाहर से क्लोज करोगे तो क्लोज नहीं होगी।
उसके कितनी रेंज में होना चाहिए सर?
50 मीटर।
ठीक है सर, इसको ये तो सर तरीके से एक ट्रेनिंग से पहले हुआ था, तो उसी के
हाँ
कंसर्न पे हम
मतलब
लोग
देखो,
कर रहे थे।
मतलब अगर अगर यही इशू है तो अदरवाइज कोई इशू उसमें है नहीं क्लोजिंग का। हो सकता है वो इंजीनियर कहीं और से कर रहे होंगे, तो आप ये कर लो, अगर नहीं होगा तो वापस सपोर्ट को एक मेल भेज देना, या फिर अपने
अच्छा
स्टेट
ठीक।
कोऑर्डिनेटर को आप ना रीच आउट कर लेना, जो भी आपके स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेटर, भाई हमें ये प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, तो हम फटाक से आपकी कॉल अरेंज करा देंगे। बट माई अंडरस्टैंड इशू वही है कि वो पहले, क्योंकि पहले प्रोसेस वही था ना, तो लोग वही प्रोसेस को फॉलो कर रहे होंगे अभी भी। तो वो क्या होगा कि
नहीं
किसी
सर।
और लोकेशन से ईमेल, तो वहाँ अभी क्या है कि अभी उसमें ऐसा है कि जिस लोकेशन पे सिटीजन ने कंप्लेंट रेज करी है, इंजीनियर को
सर
उसी लोकेशन पे जाके ही फोटो लेके उसको क्लोज करना है।
राइट सर, वो हम शायद उसी को फॉलो कर रहे हैं सर। मैं एक बार और कंसर्न देखता हूँ उसको सही
तो आप एक बार
करके।
चेक
एक और
करवा लो, स्टिल अगर यही प्रोसेस फॉलो कर रहे हैं तब भी आप लोगों को इशू आ रहा है।
एक और मेरा सर इसी से रिलेटेड कंसर्न था सर, कंप्लेन का कोई परसेंटेज तय रहता है सर? पॉपुलेशन के आधार पे इतना परसेंटेज होना चाहिए, कितना, मतलब क्या रहता है सर इसका मार्किंग जो क्राइटेरिया का?
सर एक बार दोबारा रिपीट करें, क्या क्वेश्चन था?
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन था कि जैसे पॉपुलेशन, जिस सिटी की जितनी पॉपुलेशन है, तो कंप्लेन का कुछ परसेंटेज रहता है या सर, या फिर कुछ नंबर ऑफ कंप्लेन के आधार पे मार्किंग होती है कि कैसे, किस तरीके से रहता है सर? इसमें थोड़ा सा गाइडलाइंस चाहिए हमको।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, मतलब इसका कंप्लेंट का पॉपुलेशन से देखिए कोई मतलब नहीं है, ठीक है ना।
राइट। हाँ
कंप्लेंट
हाँ।
क्योंकि देखिए वो तो सब्जेक्टिव है, मतलब आप अगर योर सिटी इज वेरी ब्यूटीफुल वेरी थिंग्स, ऑफ कोर्स नंबर्स कंप्लेंट विल बी लेस, राइट, मतलब दैट शुड बी आवर ऑब्जेक्टिव, बट द हियर वी वांट टू अचीव इज दैट वट एवर कंप्लेंट यू आर रिसीविंग, यू नो, दैट इज रिजॉल्विंग ऑन टाइम और नॉट, दैट
ओके।
इज द थिंग ओनली। तो उसका ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि 1 लाख वाली पॉपुलेशन है तो मिनिमम इतने नंबर ऑफ कंप्लेंट होनी चाहिए, 10 लाख है तो मिनिमम, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट। इट्स जस्ट दैट वट एवर नंबर ऑफ कंप्लेंट यू आर रिसीविंग आउट ऑफ दैट,
राइट।
कि आप उसको रिजॉल्व कर पा रहे हैं ना। और दूसरा यही होता है कि दूसरी चीज ये होती है कि मान लीजिए अब हमने डंप निकाला, मेरे को दिखा कि आपके शहर पे कोई कंप्लेंट ही नहीं है, अब उसका रीजन क्या है? आप स्वच्छता ऐप पे ऑन बोर्ड ही नहीं हो, तो दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम, कि आपने उस
ओके।
मीडियम को ही नहीं अडॉप्ट करा है ना।
राइट।
सो
राइट।
दैट इज, ओके, थैंक यू।
ओके। ओके, थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू।
Hello, sir. Am I audible? Hello.
यस यस,
या
बताइए।
योर ऑडिबल।
सर, मैं बिहार के नवादा नगर परिषद से बोल रही हूँ। सर, हमारे शहर में BWG जो है उसका नंबर ज्यादा है, बट जो सैंपल साइज है हमारे पॉपुलेशन कैटेगरी में वो 20 है। तो सर ये असेसमेंट कैसे होगी अगर 20 से ज्यादा है, और तो हम किस आधार पर उन्हें लिस्ट करें और आप कितनों को असेस करेंगे?
आपने स्वच्छतम पोर्टल पे कितनी एंट्रीज की हुई हैं BWGs की?
सर हमने अभी तक अराउंड 30 किए हैं।
हाँ, तो आपने 30 किया हो तो 30 के अंदर से ही वो हमारे 20 की सैम्पलिंग, 20 हमारा मैक्सिमम नंबर है, तो वो रैंडमली
अच्छा।
हमारे सारे वार्ड्स कवर करके सैम्पलिंग हो जाएगी। 20 मैक्सिमम नंबर हमारा है, तो अगर 30 की लिस्ट है तो उसमें से 20 तो चूज करना इजी है, वो ऑटोमेटेड सैम्पलिंग होती है, वो मैनुअल कुछ नहीं है उसके अंदर।
ओके सर, मतलब जो पोर्टल पे जितने हैं आप उसी में से ये करेंगे आप, या फिर आप फील्ड पे भी जाके असेस करेंगे जो कि पोर्टल में नहीं है?
नहीं नहीं, फील्ड पे नहीं, जो अपने पोर्टल पे एंट्री की है वो भी कवर करेंगे, अगर फील्ड पे लगता है कोई मिस हो गया तो भी देख सकते हैं। अगर सैंपल
अच्छा
साइज मीट हमारा वैसे ही हो गया तो उसमें अलग से नहीं देखते फिर।
अच्छा अच्छा, ठीक है सर।
सर एक और सर, मैम से रिलेटेड ही सर मेरा क्वेश्चन था सर।
जी
एक और था सर, जैसे वाटर बॉडीज, जैसे हमारी पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से वाटर बॉडीज और नंबर ऑफ वाटर बॉडीज सपोज टू बी हमको 8 दिखाना है, और मेरे
जी,
शहर में वाटर बॉडीज 6 हैं, तो जैसे 6 ही हैं तो उसमें मार्किंग का तो कोई असर नहीं पड़ना चाहिए सर?
नहीं नहीं, अगर 6 हैं तो 6 ही कवर होंगी सर।
ओके ओके, राइट सर, थैंक यू।
जो हमारा सैम्पलिंग में जितने भी लोकेशन, टाइप ऑफ लोकेशन में नंबर लिखे हैं वो मैक्सिमम नंबर है, अगर किसी सिटी में उससे कम सैंपल कवर होता है तो उस पर कोई मार्क्स नहीं कटेगा किसी का भी।
हेलो सर, नमस्कार। हेलो
हेलो।
हेलो। हाँ नमस्कार सर, मैं रांची नगर निगम से। हेलो
जी बोलिए सर।
हेलो। रांची नगर निगम से ब्रजनंदन
सर सुन
प्रसाद
पा
बोल
रहे
रहा
हैं,
हूँ
बोलिए
सर।
बोलिए
हमारे
बोलिए।
यहाँ जैसे, हाँ, मैं बोल रहा था कि हमारे यहाँ कुछ वाटर बॉडीज है जो फरवरी एंड तक आते हैं तो वो ड्राई हो जाते हैं। तो सर उसको किस तरह से कंसिडर करेंगे उसमें? क्योंकि हमारा वाटर बॉडीज, हमारा जो मिलेनियम प्लस में है, तो उसमें हमारा 20 वाटर बॉडीज को मिनिमम हम लोग को दिखलाना है, लेकिन उसमें कुछ सारे
तो
ड्राई हो
मिनिमम
जाते
नहीं है, वो
हैं।
मैक्सिमम नंबर है सर। 20 का नंबर मैक्सिमम है, मिनिमम नहीं है सर।
नहीं सर, तो अगर सपोज मैं अगर किसी वार्ड में लोकेट किया हूँ और अगर वहाँ पे अगर विजिट अगर हो जाता है और वो
जी
ड्राई
सर।
पाया जाता है, तो देन सर
तो
उसमें
सर
क्या
वो
होगा?
कंसीडर नहीं होगा, उसका सूखा वाटर बॉडी कवर नहीं होगा, क्योंकि हमारा उसमें मेन मोटिव ये है कि सफाई चेक करनी है, सॉलिड वेस्ट कोई कूड़ा फ्लोट तो नहीं कर रहा है वाटर बॉडी में। तो जो जहाँ पे पानी
ठीक
होगा वही चेक होगा सर उसके अंदर,
ठीक है सर।
और
नहीं तो
उसी के
सर
हिसाब
अगर
से
मान
मार्क्स
के,
दिए जाएंगे, मार्क्स आपके नहीं कटेंगे उसके अंदर।
ठीक है सर, हाँ ठीक है।
तो आपको
एंड
सर
सर
उससे
एक और
बताना पड़ेगा
क्वेश्चन था
कि ये
सर।
सूखा वाला कवर ना हो, आप भी ध्यान रखिएगा।
सर तो अभी तो जैसे स्वच्छता पोर्टल पे तो हम लोग उसको अपलोड करेंगे, तो सर उस वक्त कैसे करेंगे सर? उस वक्त उसको
सर
क्या
आपने अपलोड कर
डिक्लेरेशन देना
दिया,
पड़ेगा?
सैम्पलिंग सैम्पलिंग उसका होगा, असेसर फील्ड पे जाएगा, आप लोगों के साथ में ही असेसर होगी सर।
अच्छा ठीक।
तो
इशू
आपको
था सर, ठीक है तो
जी
पार्डन। हाँ सर।
Hi sir. Sir,
हेलो।
I'm from Tamil Nadu.
सर
Sir,
1 सेकंड,
actually,
प्लीज वेट वेट 1 सेकंड, विल टेक यू नेक्स्ट। जी सर बताइए।
सर एक और था, जैसे स्वच्छता ही सेवा कार्यक्रम के तहत जैसे सीटीयू का हम लोगों ने क्लियरेंस किया था, तो एक सर एक प्रीवियस 1 ईयर्स का एक बैकलॉग वगैरह कुछ दिख रहा था सर, उसको जब हमने अपडेट किया तो वो अपडेट नहीं हो पा रहा था। तो सर उसको कैसे करेंगे? क्योंकि वो प्रीवियस ईयर का था, वो ये जो लास्ट ईयर का नहीं, उसके एक साल और पहले का था वो।
सर अभी तो जो हम सीटी में लेंगे वो इसी साल का लेंगे, उससे पुराना नहीं लेंगे हमको।
अच्छा, ठीक है सर।
जी
ओके
2025 में जो
सर।
किया होगा अपना आइडेंटिफिकेशन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, वही कंसीडर होगा।
ओके सर, थैंक
जी यस तमिलनाडु प्लीज।
hi sir. Actually, sir, in Tamil Nadu, we couldn't change the functional status of the processing plants, sir, for all the processing plants in city facility. So, could you give me some editable option for that, sir?
एडिटेबल ऑप्शन फॉर व्हाट?
For a status of processing plants for all the processing plants, if when the processing plants is under construction, we couldn't change the functional status. It is functional like that.
For Tamil Nadu, we will arrange a separate meeting with IT team. Whether we can do that or not, we have to decide. So,
Okay.
if you have
And
my
then one
number,
more
then
thing, sir,
please contact
GIS
me separately.
mapping also not is opening. What, sir?
You have my number?
Yes, I have my,
Yes,
I
please
have my
contact me
your number.
separately after this meeting. We will discuss with IT team.
Okay.
सर एक सर बिहार से बात, एक
जी सर।
एक से पूछना था कि अगर कोई यूएलबी गंगा टाउन यूएलबी है और
जी
उसमें गंगा गंगा उसके यूएलबी के जुरिडिक्शन से बाहर अगर है, तो क्या उसमें भी गंगा टाउन का असेसमेंट होगा?
सर गंगा
आज
टाउन
का
हमारा
उसमें
पिछले 4 5 साल से चल रहा है, वो तो नया इंडिकेटर कुछ आया ही नहीं है ऐसा। अगर गंगा
जी
टाउन
जी
लास्ट ईयर भी
एक,
कवर
एक,
हुआ है तो इस साल भी कवर होगा।
हाँ लेकिन वो गंगा टाउन गंगा जो है वो उसको यूएलबी के जुरिडिक्शन से बाहर अगर है
तो सर एक बार हमारा अगर लास्ट ईयर वो कवर हुआ होगा तो इस साल भी होगा, अगर नहीं हुआ होगा तो अभी भी नहीं होगा।
ओके, मतलब
सिटी
उसके
के अंदर
बाहर
अगर
भी अगर
सिटी उसमें जुरिडिक्शन में नहीं आ रहा फिर तो कवर नहीं होगा।
हाँ जी जी वही पूछा।
फिर भी एक बार हम
ओके
चेक कर लेंगे, आपकी सिटी का नाम बता दीजिएगा क्या है।
जी, मनेर का
क्या
एक
नाम है
मनेर
सिटी
है
का?
यूएलबी, मनेर है।
बिहार में?
जी जी बिहार में मनेर।
ठीक है देख लेंगे, अगर हुआ होगा लास्ट टाइम तो इस बार भी होगा सर।
ओके ठीक है।
जी धन्यवाद।
So good afternoon, sir. Sukumar this side from Patta Municipal Corporation.
आफ्टरनून सर।
So my question is, sir, actually हम लोग अभी ट्राई कर रहे थे थोड़ा जो डेटा है उसको मॉडिफाई करने के लिए, बट वो एडिटिंग का ऑप्शन दिखाई नहीं रहा है, ना ही कोई डिलीट का ऑप्शन आ रहा है।
नहीं सर अभी हमारे एमआईएस पे तो एडिटिंग और डिलीट अभी सब बंद करा हुआ है। तो अगर आपका
हाँ,
कुछ स्पेसिफिक है, कुछ चेंज करना है तो आपको लेटर लिख के देना पड़ेगा मिनिस्ट्री को, फिर मिनिस्ट्री विल टेक अ कॉल।
तो जैसे कि हम लोगों को कोई कोई बीडब्ल्यूजी को मॉडिफाई करना है या फिर अगर कोई घाट जिसमें सूख गया है, घाट पानी नहीं है,
जी
तो
सर।
उसको अगर हटाना है तो, या फिर कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा है तो उसको सारा हटाना है तो उसके लिए लेटर लिखना पड़ेगा।
नहीं नहीं सर इसके
हाँ
लिए तो नहीं,
हाँ
पर मैं इसके लिए भी
हाँ
कराना
अभी
है।
अभी अभी सर यही प्रोसेस है, आपको आपको वो लेटर लिखना है, लेटर लिख के अपने स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेटर को भेजना है, ठीक है?
अच्छा,
And
अच्छा,
then state coordinator will take a approval from director, and as per that या तो हम वो आगे अगर इफ इट कुड बी डन फ्रॉम बैक एंड, जैसे आपका डिलीशन वाला केस है, इस टाइप की चीजें, तो फ्रॉम बैक एंड, अदरवाइज एडिट ऑप्शन विल बी ओपन फॉर यू एंड देन यू कैन एडिट इट।
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
ओके, थैंक यू।
सबमिशन से बोल रहा हूँ सर, रिगार्डिंग डिलीशन के लिए हम लोगों ने लेटर भी लिखा था, बट वो अभी तक डिलीट नहीं हुआ है माइस पोर्टल से। वो हम लोगों का टॉयलेट का था।
आपने उसको डिलीट करने के लिए लेटर भेजा है या मिनिस्ट्री में?
हाँ, मैंने अपने स्टेट टीएमयू को भेजा है।
नहीं सर, स्टेट से यहाँ पे भेजिए ना, हमारे पास तो आना चाहिए।
वो सपोर्ट पे मेल किया हुआ है सर।
अच्छा, तो सर एक बार चेक करवा लेते हैं एक बार।
सपोर्ट पे मेल किया हुआ था जी। वो एक बार वहां से रिप्लाई आया कि वो जो टॉयलेट्स रिमूव करने उसको नॉन फंक्शनल दिखा दीजिए। तो क्या ये करना होगा या फिर उसको रिमूव करना होगा? टॉयलेट हेलो
जी सर, बता रहे हैं
सर। हाँ जी जी। टेंडर किया हुआ है।
नहीं नहीं, ठीक है सर, वो आपने लेटर भेजा हुआ है ना इसको सपोर्ट को, जिसमें वो सपोर्ट ने रिप्लाई कर दिया कि नॉन फंक्शनल कर दी, बट अभी आप नॉन फंक्शनल कर नहीं पाओगे क्योंकि एडिट हमने बंद कर रखा है, ठीक है। सो जो आपने डॉक्यूमेंट भेजा था उसके बेस पे हम देखते हैं, अगर होगा तो हम फ्रॉम बैकएंड से उसको नॉन फंक्शनल कर देंगे।
सर वो 2 यूएलबी का है, वो भेजा हुआ है।
हाँ मैं समझ गया,
दोबारा
जिसमें
फिर
सपोर्ट ने
से
कुछ
शेयर
दिन पहले रिप्लाई करा था कि प्लीज चेंज दिस एज अ नॉन फंक्शनल करके इसका
जी जी
स्टेटस अपडेट कर दीजिए। बट द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट कि
जी
अभी
जी
आप
जी
वो भी नहीं कर पाओगे क्योंकि एडिट बंद है।
जी जी
ठीक है, वी विल सी, हम उसको बैकएंड से ही कर देंगे।
सर
ओके
जैसे कुछ bulk generator हमारे न्यू कुछ hotels बने हैं, तो नाउ दैट वी हैव टू ऐड फॉर द bulk generator कैटेगरी। तो सर अभी उसमें ऐड हो पाएगा कि सर हम लोग कैसे करेंगे उसको ऐड के लिए? ऑडिबल सर? हेलो इज ऑडिबल सर?
जी सर, बताइए।
सर मेरा कंसर्न है सर, कुछ बल्क बेस्ड जनरेटर हमारे यहाँ न्यू है, जैसे कुछ होटल्स बने हैं एक दो, तो
जी
उनको
जी
हमको बल्क बेस्ड में ऐड करना है। तो सर एडिटिंग इज अलाउड ना राइट नाउ, नॉट ऐड कर सकते हैं कि नहीं?
सॉरी विशाल, मतलब आई वाज, या व्हाट इज द
ये
इशू?
पूछ रहे हैं कि बीडब्ल्यूजी कुछ न्यू बना यूएलबी में, तो अभी ऐड कर सकते हैं पोर्टल पे ना?
हाँ, ऐड न्यू आप कर सकते हैं, एडिट नहीं कर सकते, ऐड न्यू कर सकते हैं, नया बीडब्ल्यूजी ऐड कर सकते हैं।
ऐड न्यू कर सकते हैं। ओके सर, थैंक यू।
ओके,
कर्नाटक से सर।
यस,
So,
कर्नाटक।
कुछ regarding GMIS, we have some request received from a state district ULB regarding ULB boundary updation from 13 ULB. We have sent a KML file also for updation, backend updation, the district boundary. So this issue is still pending, sir.
फ्रॉम कर्नाटका?
Yeah, sir. So, Manish, sir.
Yeah. Sir, no, we already had a discussion with ISRI. There was some initial issue in this. So we have rectified something also. ISRI has given me timeline of Friday because these are
Yes, sir.
back-end updation. They have told me
Okay.
that, but Friday. But they have told me Friday. But just to a buffer or something, I will say I would say that by early Monday it should be done.
Yes, sir. One more issue,
Karnataka,
sir.
we have already sent your this thing. Already had a discussion with ISRI team who will update from the back end these files. So by Friday they have given me the task to update those.
सर बिहार से
Downside is
सर ये
they did
हाँ चंद्रशेखर बताइए।
mistake in legacy waste number, sir. So I sent a support team to request on mail, sir, to changes the as per NARC approval. That's still pending, sir.
But you need to change your legacy waste number.
Legacy waste done, sir.
No, legacy
They are
waste
not
in the
done,
already
sir.
dump sites are already added, right?
Yeah, added, sir. They are wrongly entered the
No.
numbers.
No. What I'm asking, dump sites are already added in the Swachh portal.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, you just need to change the legacy waste data. Means, for
Yes,
example,
sir.
if the
Yes, sir.
legacy waste is 1 lakh, might be you need to increase it or decrease it, right?
Yeah, sir. There's like 5,000. They are entered 4,000. Like we have to change that 5,000 to 4,000. That's it. As per NARC approval.
अच्छा, ओके ओके ओके। एज
Because
पर
like
नार्क
action plan
अप्रूवल
is
तो
still.
नहीं, एज पर नार्क अप्रूवल तो इज फाइन, बट जो भी आपको चेंज करना है आपका लीगेसी बेस्ड उतना ही था, जो वट एवर यू आर
हाँ उतना
चेंजिंग
ही था
दैट
सर,
इज द एक्चुअल
उसके हिसाब
लीगेसी
से।
बेस्ड, राइट?
हाँ
अच्छा
उसके हिसाब से
अच्छा,
अप्रूव लिया है सर NARC ने।
ओके 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 ओके। ये कौन सा आपका कर्नाटका केस है?
हाँ कर्नाटक का मणकालमूरू ULB का है सर, हमने मेल भेजा था सर।
ठीक है, मैं देख लेता हूँ, मुझे लग रहा है कि शायद हो भी गया था। आपने आज चेक किया है? ये नहीं हुआ है अभी?
नहीं हुआ है सर।
अच्छा
उससे
ठीक है ठीक है
एक
ठीक है, नहीं ठीक है ठीक है, बिकॉज अविराज वाज वर्किंग ऑन दैट, आई नो, मतलब दे वर फॉलोइंग इट। ठीक है, वी विल लुक इनटू, कर देते हैं
ओके
उसको।
ओके
आपने लेटर
ओके।
भेजा हुआ है ना?
हाँ मेल भेजा हूँ सर, सपोर्ट टीम को मेल भेजा हूँ सर।
नहीं नहीं, मेल तो फाइन है, मतलब मेल में लेटर लिखा हुआ है, लेटर कोई?
लेटर का मतलब सर हमने जियो NARC अप्रूवल का लेटर लिखा है
अच्छा
सर,
ठीक है
ऐसा।
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, ओके ओके, हाँ मतलब मीन्स दैट, ओके ठीक है, विल लुक इनटू।
ओके ओके
सर बिहार से बात कर रहा हूँ सर। हेलो। हाँ सर, सर हमने 2 मेल किया था सर। एक तो करीब 13-14 यूएलबीज के यूएलबी बाउंड्रीज उसके वार्ड बाउंड्रीज, वो हमने सपोर्ट पे मेल किया हुआ है सर, ताकि स्वच्छ सिटी ऐप को स्टार्ट कराया जा सके उन यूएलबीज में, क्योंकि उनके वार्ड वगैरह चेंज हुए हैं। और दूसरा एक मेल किया था सर जिसमें सी स्वैप और सी सैप का जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं सर, एक दूसरे में दिख रहे थे, उसका मैंने मेल किया है, तो वो दोनों थोड़ा उसको करा दिया जाता है।
चंद्रशेखर जी बोल रहे हैं? हेलो चंद्रशेखर जी, आप बोल, चंद्रशेखर जी, हेलो?
चंद्रशेखर जी ही बात कर रहे थे, थोड़ी उनकी आवाज लगता चली गई है।
अच्छा अच्छा, चलिए ठीक है, मैं बात कर लूंगा चंद्रशेखर से, क्या है
अब
उनका
वो
इशू।
उनका इशू ये था, मेरा भी सेम इशू था कि वार्ड बाउंड्री जो हमारे यूएलबी का जो चेंज हुआ है, तो स्वच्छ सिटी पोर्टल पे जैसे हमारा 23 वार्ड ही आ रहा है, बट एक्चुअल में ग्राउंड कंडीशन में 28 वार्ड है, तो इस वजह से 32 यूएलबी का उन्होंने मेल किया, उसमें मेरा भी यूएलबी का वो इशू है, तो काइंडली उसको देख लिया जाए एक बार।
अच्छा, मतलब स्वच्छ सिटी में पोर्टल अपडेशन वाला जो वार्ड का
हाँ
अपडेशन
हाँ, वो
होता है,
हम लोगों ने
और
मोर
ये
देन
केएमएल आपने
1
सपोर्ट में भेजी हुई है?
हाँ वो मेल सपोर्ट में भेजी हुई है, मोर देन 1 मंथ से हो गया। 2-3 रिमाइंडर भी दिया, आपके हेल्पलाइन नंबर पे
अच्छा अच्छा,
कांटेक्ट
वो
किया
तो
था मैंने, बट वहां से कोई रिस्पांस नहीं आया हमें।
ठीक है सर, देख लेते हैं, ओके नो इशू। एक में वो ठीक है, ओके दैट्स फाइन।
Hello, good evening, sir. Sir, am I audible? Hello, sir. Sir, so our doubt is we have ODF plus validation till 17th July 2026. So do we need to reapply again, or should we wait for the decision?
Yes, sir. Please come again.
Yeah, so sir, we have ODF plus validation till 17th July 2026.
Right, sir.
Yeah, so do we need to again reapply again, or should we wait? Is there any
Sir, as of
clarity?
now, there is no decision from the ministry.
Yeah.
All the certificates which are valid till July will be considered as of now. So in case of any change, we will alert all the ULBs accordingly, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. From Andhra Pradesh, I am Chalapatiraj from belongs to ALSC.
Yes.
This loan mela, from which year you will be considering for marks? Say, suppose if it is done 3 years before, will it be considered? Yes.
Sir, for this current financial year, we will take.
So current financial year.
Yes, sir.
And is it compulsorily should be from NSK FDC or some other agencies?
From any agency, sir. not mandatorily NSKFDC.
Even if it is NSKFDC, it is okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
If there are no more questions, we can close the meeting right now. And if still there are some questions, you can say it to the concerned state coordinator. We will reply accordingly.
Sorry to disturb you.
Yes, yes.
So, sir, I am from Telangana, state PMU. So the thing is, we have 3 ULBs merged into 3 other corporations.
Okay.
The ULBs which was merged into corporations, the details we could not find them in the corporation user ID or login ID. Sir, am I clear? Again.
Hello. What was your query, Sampath?
Sir, so the thing is, we have 3 ULBs which were merged
three
into
corporations.
corporations. Yeah. So we could not find the details of the ULBs which were merged into the corporation.
Details on Swachh portal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Let's discuss with the IT team.
What is the question? Sir, you have 3 ULBs?
Yeah, the 3 were merged into 3 different corporations. Example, A was merged into A1, B was merged into B1, but we could not find the A details in A1. Do we need to add again, or it will directly reflect from the backend?
From which state? From which state?
We are from Telangana, sir.
अच्छा तेलंगाना में आई थिंक कितनी अभी कुछ यूएलबीज खरीदे 27 खरीदे कितनी नहीं one thing is that 27 ULBs merged in one greater Hyderabad. This is
Yeah,
one
sir,
merger
that is done. Yeah.
So you are talking about that only?
No, sir, I am talking about remaining 3, the other 3.
So that needs to be merged, or that is already merged?
That is already merged, sir.
In the Swachh portal?
No, on ground it is merged, but in Swachh portal
on ground it is merged. Yeah. So then you have to send us the report. Now we will do that merging.
Okay, sir, we'll do it. Thank you.
Yeah, because we do not have that information. We have information about the 27 ULBs that we have already done.
Okay, sorry, sir. Yeah.
वो तो हो गया है, and remaining 3 you have to just update us that these are the ULB, this needs to be merged here, this needs to be merged here. Accordingly we will do that.
Yeah, sure, sir, I'll update you that.
Okay, thank you.
सर हमने बिहार से हमने सर कुछ नई यूएलबी का सर हमने एग्जाम्पशन के लिए लेटर दिया था, उसका कोई
सर वो यहाँ पे मिनिस्ट्री में एक बार डिस्कस होगा, क्योंकि वो लास्ट 2 साल से आई थिंक वो चल रहा है एग्जाम्पशन ना, तो एक बार वो डिस्कशन होने के बाद
जी
आपको
वो चूंकि उसके यहाँ कुछ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है नहीं सर अभी।
जी सर
जी
अभी।
और सर मैंने जो मेल किया है सर सपोर्ट पे GMIS के लिए सर, और स्वच्छ सिटी के लिए जो वार्ड जो ऐड हुए 13-14 ULBs के, उसको अपडेट करने के लिए सर।
हाँ ठीक है, चलिए जो अभी हमारा हो गया डिस्कस वो करवाते हैं।
सर ODF GFC का कोई नया गाइडलाइन वगैरह भी आने वाला है क्या?
अभी तो कुछ ऐसा
या वो जो पुराने
गाइडलाइन कुछ नहीं है, पुराना ही चल रहा है अभी तो।
Sir, sorry to disturb you again and again. We have one more doubt as well. So we have 21 newly formed ULBs. So we just got the login credentials for those a month ago, I guess. So my question is, do they need to participate in SS 2026?
These are the new created ULBs, right?
Yes, sir, new created ULBs.
I think there is a timeline for that. I think Vishal will update us. I think December or something. ये वो उनको participate नहीं करना, I think Vishal will guide you. Vishal, there is some ULBs which are newly created, so they are asking that वो participate करना है कि नहीं करना है. उसका कुछ time limit है ना कि कौन सी ULBs?
The toolkit is mentioned ULBs formed on or before December 2024 they can participate. But in case if the new ULB wants to participate, they can seek permission from the UL from the ministry.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
But if the ULB is already on the Swachh portal, we will consider it as participating.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, from Karnataka, sir, is there any chance to update the dump site data, sir, in dump site, city facility under dump site option?
Yes, yes. So for that, what I told you, because currently edit is not accessible. If you want to edit any data under your city profile, plant capacity, plant details, legacy waste, etc., etc., you compile a letter from the corresponding authorized, official, and send this to your state coordinator. State coordinator will take a approval from the director, and then with the help of IT, that rectification will be done. For example, अगर आपको legacy waste का, you have to update your legacy waste data. In the dump side, you will shoot a letter to the state coordinator. State coordinator will take approval, and from the backend, IT team will update this data.
सर आप पोर्टल में कुछ भी चेंज करने के लिए सर मैं लेटर ही टाइप लिखना होगा सर?
नया ऐड करना है आपको, कुछ सिटी में प्रोफाइल में ऐड करना है वो कर सकते हैं, कुछ डिलीट करना है, एडिट करना है, जिससे हमारे प्रोग्रेस के अंदर कुछ चेंज होता है, उसके लेटर भेजना पड़ेगा आपको, क्योंकि ये सारी रिपोर्ट जो होती है यहाँ से पीएमओ जाता है, सब कुछ डेटा फ्रीज हो चुका होता है ऑलरेडी।
सर कुछ यूएलबी को उसका प्रोजेक्टेड पॉपुलेशन का अपडेट करना था 2026 का, वो भी नहीं हो पा रहा है सर सिटी प्रोफाइल में।
We will
Hello,
discuss
sir.
with the IT team. We will see if that can be
Okay, sir.
changed.
Okay.
So we are closing the meeting now. If you have some more questions, please mail the same to the concerned state coordinators. Otherwise, you can go for ours. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the states and ULBs for participating.